Before we start this podcast, I just want to say a big thank you to all the businesses and people that help support our upcoming comedy show at the City Hall on Friday. Some of those businesses include Blue Ridge Brewing, Joe's In and Out, Westside Self Service, Milk River Honey, Hanley Construction, Independence Bank, Phillips County Insurance, Ginger Snaps Phone Repair, The Mint Bar, Radio Shack, Pennu Farms, Malta Ready Mix, Ezzy's Wholesale, Equity Co-op, The First State Bank, Family Matters, CHS, Hardware Hank, Austin Bunk, Inky's Tattoo, and 406 Spray Tan. The views of this podcast are not the views of our sponsors. We just use this podcast as a vehicle to promote our comedy show that we got coming up. So thank you to all the sponsors for sponsoring the comedy show, and I hope you guys enjoy this extra vulgar podcast. It was fun, though, with Shane and Mitch Demarais.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Montarctica? We're in for the 3 days or 2 days before the comedy show podcast. We keep skipping times. Carnahan was on the last one. He's here today.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
We got another virgin. We're popping Mitch Demarais' cherry today.
Hey, everybody. Hey,
Did you guys hear that? I tapped his mic stand. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry for you guys riding in your car.
Malta, buddy.
I was, I got interrupted, but hey, Malta, hey, world. Got everybody.
So anyway, what I was talking about the comedy show, and I said this, and you guys will hear this in the intro after we do it. I got a huge comedy show coming up, and we're going to try the City Hall for once. Like, for those of you that aren't in Malta, Montana, we live in this tiny-ass little town, and to find a venue that's big enough yet still small enough to fit enough people to have, like, a comedy show. I've been doing my other ones at the theater, and everybody knows that, or, like, I did one at the Buffalo. I've done shows at the Pavilion. The Pavilion is too big unless you have like at least 500 people. Then it seems seems too spaced out. The theater seats 420 people. I'd harassed the city council a bunch and like some of the other, like the drag strip and or the PCMS and the Walleyes said the City Hall should sound better in there because it gets such bad echo. And I kept going like it's the perfect size venue. Like literally if you were to look at fire code, it's like 250 people and that's perfect for a Malta gig.
Well, and the nice thing, too, with it is that you can set up chairs and tables.
That's it.
Instead of just sitting like you're in a theater, you can have the tables, chairs set up. You can sit with all your friends and family, whatnot. Get up, you got to go use the restroom or go grab a drink, or cocktail waitress can get to you. They don't have to cut in front of a bunch of people to try to get you your drinks, and you don't have to cut in front of people. Just try to get out and use the restroom. I think it's going to be a really dope fucking setup.
I think the theater would be great with a few upgrades. Like I've did my shows there, and like there's a few that went off. The sound is phenomenal in the theater. That's what it's built for, So like that's the tough thing to deal with. And then I did the last show. I did one at the theater and one out at the Buffalo Barn. And Roger Eero, when he put together that Buffalo Barn, was a meticulous freak of how good entertainment should be around Phillips County. And he built it the right size. He built a green room. He built a backstage. He built everything that it needs. But it's 17 miles away from here, and there's only I can't even quote how many cabins they have to rent, but not enough. So we had a better show out there, and the reason we had a better show was because we could actually sell tables. So like I could go to your business, Mitch, and be like, Mitch, I'll put you on next to the stage, I'll do this, I'll do that. You invite your best clients, and you get 6 people to sit with at a table, as opposed to everybody buying one theater ticket,
Right.
So hopefully it works out. It's a fucking risk every time I do it. And this one's like, I went 4 days before Christmas and go, let's do a show.
And doing it the way you are, too, is you're not just selling tables, you're selling an advertisement, too, with that front table.
You have to.
And
they're getting, and you'll see that at the beginning of this podcast because I go back and I do my intros, and like we're going to get some of the sponsors on this one, and then this is actually episode 49, and episode 50 is going to be pretty fucking epic, too, so.
But like I said, instead of going, you can buy a seat, whatever, you can go to the business, say, hey, for $300 or $400, whatever you're charging for X amount of dollars, you get a front row table, your name goes on the flyers, on the boards, on everything, and it's great advertisement, not just for the businesses, but they can invite their coworkers, and especially this time of year, it is holiday season. They can buy it for their employees, and
that's it. I got some Christmas parties and stuff that They're doing their Christmas party. They're doing their Christmas parties, and I'm starting it late at night. It starts at 9, or the doors open at 8, and then it starts at 9. So I thought if we got a Christmas party, and I called it like this. So, and this is a little bit of a backtrack on my Montarctica businesses. I've done them all over the fucking calendar of between. I've done it on Thanksgiving break. I've done it Christmas break. I've done it June, July, August, Memorial Day. And everybody's like, you should do it this day. You should try that day. And I go, I've literally tried every one. It's all about how you market it and get people out. And this weekend happened to fall perfectly like 4 days before Christmas. We can at least go out and have some beers, hang out. And we're losing a lot that don't stay in Malta, but
you're gaining a lot too, because there's always a lot of college kids in town. That's like that's like I was saying earlier today with Mitch, because I work with him.
Before we go too far, a little bit of comedy. We did the last podcast we did was Lance and Brett and everybody, and I'm pretty sure because I went out so hard on a Wednesday night, we did that show on a Thursday night. I was licking my wounds.
Ooh, you were struggling.
I just tried to take a drink of a full Miller Lite that I think is about a month old. So Shane just got me a new one. That sucked.
Awful.
But it didn't have mold.
But like I was saying, it's awful though. But like I said, like Mitch and I were talking about, there's a lot of college kids back in town wanting to look for something to do with their buddies, go down to the bar or whatever. But this gives them something to do as a group instead of just standing in the bar slinging drinks and getting fucked up. And it gives Mitch something to do too, single man, 20s, lots of girls in town.
I'll hook you up for doing the podcast. I'll give you an extra ticket, but you got to give it away to your date.
Well, I'm already on a table, so.
Oh, well then get a date and add her to the chair.
You can
I didn't ask who else was on the table. I'm with Jeff and Trisha, so.
You could have scalped them bitches in front of the
They got
joint.
one, so.
Yeah, they did.
Who knows?
They did get one. Hanley Construction, thank you.
Oh, all right, good.
And Trisha told me to say Hanley Construction. I don't know.
Oh, good.
Jeff's going to be like, my side business, I should hit. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, no, and that's part of the deal is it's really not much more than what your average ticket is. But at least, like, we can give you some advertising in front of people. And I would gladly, like, the people that have supported me over all these shows, and same as you, there's people that come out of the woodwork that you'd never guess. But they enjoy the same shit as we do. And we live in this stupid little, that's the reason I called it Montarctica. We live in the goddamn Arctic tundra, and we don't get anything up here. And so I'm going to swing my nuts and say, hey, let's try something.
Sometimes you don't see people until
you just about dropped it, and you didn't mean to, but you almost said stupid little town. But it ain't a stupid little town.
No, it's not. It's not. I enjoy this place. I wouldn't live here if I didn't.
And the only reason you would have said that is because we live in such an area to try to pull something off like that, like a comedy show, dirt bike show, concert. It's almost stupid to try to pull it off, but in the long run, 95% of the time, it works.
I can look at the 10 posters on my wall and say that I made money on maybe 3 or 4 of them. I mean, there's ones that did, ones that made money. There's 1 or 2 that I lost my ass off. There's a couple that are hanging behind there that fell down that we're looking at. But I've tried a bunch of stuff around this town. I've literally, and the thing is I get all kinds of people telling me what I should do. You should try this, you should do that.
You should just listen to me. I have great fucking thoughts. Like when I called you that one day, and I was like, "Hey,
that's in the works. We
should get this band." And you were like, "Wow!" Like I think I amazed you that came across my mind.
That was a good one. That's literally our demographic. That's the tough thing about this place, is fitting the right amount of entertainment that will still pull people out of their houses.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's so few and far between where people come out and even if they're not even looking at the show, they're bullshitting each other in the beer gardens.
What's cool about this little town, and you always get the really family-friendly events like the Harlem Globetrotters, whatever they call them.
We do those with the chamber.
And you get so much things going on that all the family can do, but sometimes there's some nights where, seeing as how Travis and I are family men, we got kids, you're just like,
you got to bring the old lady out.
I'd like to get a babysitter, and I'd like to grab the wife. I'd like to go out and enjoy a night with my wife and my friends. And it takes it takes a feat and an act of Congress to pull something like this off. But it's so rad, because in the long run, everybody pats Travis on the back and says, "Thank you for pulling this off, and thank you for bringing cool shit to town." I just can't get over how cool it is. But
I guess part of it, before we talk too much about me putting on the show or anything, we should probably plug what the show is actually going to be. And this one, we're So we're in here on a Wednesday. I just got done shooting some pool. And what this show is going to be is I'm bringing back Lucas Seeley, who's been here a couple times with me. And he's a good friend out of Billings. He actually lives in Hollywood now, and he's been on TV. He's been on the Food Network. He's been on TNT. He's been on Showtime. And part of it, though, this one isn't just straight stand-up like we've done before. And we've run in some big gunners at stand-up.
A little more.
But this one's going to have a little bit of stand-up. If you guys have ever seen the TV show Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, nice.
This one's going to have like a lot of skits. It's going to have some fucking stories.
Oh, that was back when Drew Carey was still fat, right?
He got skinny during it too. It's going to have some. It's all going to be Christmas themed though. So we're going like, who knows? I'm still a little nervous because it's going to be so hard Christmas themed, and I'm such a fucking Scrooge anyway. That like I keep going make Christmas great again. I keep hashtagging make Christmas great again. Because, and don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like my family. The way that my ADHD brain works, when there's that much chaos going around me, my brain just wants to, like, find a quiet place. Like, so that's why I've told you guys before we started.
Deal.
Well, and I love cooking, but we're going to Miles City this time for Christmas.
Oh.
Staying in a motel, and then going to Christmas at Carol's sisters and whatnot. And
Thanks for the invite.
I'm completely okay with it, but the holidays are so much stress. And, like, my biggest thing is I see the nasty corporate America grip that they have on Christmas. And all of our kids expect something. Everybody, like, what'd you get me? That's what the first fucking Christmas. I'd rather be like, how cool could we all go hang out and make a good fucking meal? And that's what I would like. But I fall into the trap every year, and I go ape shit and buy presents like crazy. And it's dumb because I don't live super high on the hog.
Pump the brakes a minute.
Just a minute. Well, I'm going to finish this because I don't live too high on the hog, but it's not like my kids need much. You know, like they got a trampoline, they got an Xbox, they got what the fuck do you get them now? The newest, stupidest toy that's popular for Christmas that they'll hate by February?
Well,
and that's what you do.
You just need to get rid of cable. And
I already have. I've been a cable cutter since Braden was born. I've been a cable cutter.
Nice. Yeah, I was talking to Heather, and she said, we only have Netflix, and the kids don't see all those little ads for all the dumbest
if they know how to
ever,
if they know how to run YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. And then the thing with social media also is like you see that mom that buys each kid 40 presents and and she defends herself like, oh, that's just what we do, that's our thing, which I get, but Shane's
got one girl that is split between households with him too. And my two older kids are split between my house and my ex's house. And Carol and I talk about this all the time, that they go to her, like, so we alternate holidays. No matter, like, every year or every other year, I get full-blown, or my day is Christmas, theirs is Christmas. But even if our day isn't Christmas, they're still going to get a Christmas at my house. And they end up getting 2 full-blown fucking Christmases.
Well,
if not 3 or 4, because then they go to grandma's and then the other grandma's, and I sit back as a kid,
grandparents.
Like, my parents would let me know where and, like, a few clothes. And as a kid at 95, I think I was probably a 5th grader or something.
Mitch, do you remember Christmas in 95?
I was pretty bummed out. You was probably conceived in 95. I don't know. How old are you? What?
I'm 28.
Yeah, you're close. Anyway, so
yeah, I was 5.
I remember in 95, and I remember thinking, and I was a nice kid. I wasn't going to shit on my parents if they didn't get me shit, but I remember thinking, like, I didn't get much. And then my dad's like, well, wait, maybe there's something else out in the car. And he goes out and he comes strolling in with a brand new fucking computer. And at that point, computers were something. I had a brand new Windows 95 computer that I could fucking hook to the internet, which was, at this time, the internet's. I was one of the first
He had
ones.
no friends on the internet because no one else had a computer.
If it weren't for the internet, I would have never got laid. No, I'm just kidding. But maybe. No, I'm backtracking. I'm bullshitting. But anyway, I literally was, within a couple weeks, was connecting the dial up, and getting on the internet. And I started learning things. And at that point, the biggest setback that I've ever felt in my own brain is I feel like I can't learn enough that I want to. There's plenty out there, like there's so much information out there on the internet right now to learn. And half of them that drives me crazy is that I can't learn it all. I want to learn about nanoscience. I want to learn about how to market something. I want to learn whatever it is. There's so much out there that you can learn. And once that internet opened up, that Christmas was one of the best ones I ever had. But now that I look back on it, you know,
It just opened a lot of doors for you.
big time. That's what I do now. I mean, we're on a podcast right now.
Yeah.
That who would have thought that this podcast could have been enough for me to fucking quit my radio job?
I see, like with me, I never had an interest in internet and computers and video games. And in the long run, all that shit's handier than shit for me. I mean, I use it all the time, every day, not just social media, but
Everybody does.
In my field of work, like I'm always looking up parts and doing this and doing that, trying to figure out how to fix this, how to fix that, how we do it. But I guess I didn't get that luxury. I mean, we had a computer and all that stuff. I don't remember when we got it, in the 90s sometime. But there's so many of us in the house. I mean, how do you all get on the fucking computer at one time? And I'll never forget.
Well, you couldn't get on the phone and the computer at the same time. So.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. Because one brother's trying to get on a computer and look up whatever, or send a fucking email for the first time, and I'm over there trying to call my girlfriend to see if she wanted to go out and fucking do whatever.
Yahoo Messenger
Oh, jeez.
got me, like...
That's how I learned how to type.
Was that what you got catfished on?
No, I did get catfished once,
You
though.
fucking A, you did.
I got wickedly catfished once.
Dude, this is a pretty good story, too.
I don't even really want to tell it because it's pretty fucking personal. So I'd talk, and I don't even remember how I met this girl. Somehow I'd met this girl on a chat room back, like right when I was out of high school, and we started talking. And she was like, "This is when like you still didn't exchange pictures over the internet, really?"
Yeah, and if they came in and it was just a weird
you'd
pixel
chat,
fucking wreck.
But like she was still snail mailing me regular pictures. And she was ridiculously hot. And there was like these girls, and Carol, don't kill me for this story. I was fucking 12. But anyway, she'd send in these pictures, or this girl at the time was sending me these pictures, and there'd be two girls in there, and she's like, well, this is her. And talked all these interests, all
I'm
these.
the
like,
one on the right.
We talked, yeah, exactly. This is what goes on. And we talked for a long ass time, like maybe over a year before I'd even met her. And I was living I'd moved to Billings, and she had messaged me, and like we got really fucking close over talking, and just like literally just became friends, you know.
He meant I tell you.
This is where
No,
it gets good.
literally, and she goes, this is out of the blue. I hadn't talked to her for probably 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it was. I get this message that says, "Hey, I'm in Billings," and I went, "Okay."
She's like in Spokane or something.
She's from Washington.
You
Yeah.
just drove from
She
Washington.
goes, "I'm in
to
Billings." I was like, "Well, what brought you to Billings?" She's like, "I came to see you." I'm like, "We haven't talked forever. This is a little strange." She's like, "Well, I'm sitting in Albertson's parking lot. Can you come meet me?" And I'm like, yeah,
Which
I'm
one?
gonna get killed. I'm fucked. And so I send my cousin Corey. I go, "Hey Corey, there's this white Mitsubishi. Go fucking check it out." Wherever. He drives by and he's like, "Well, dude, she's you, but she's I don't.
She's a
That's
dude.
not. He no. That wasn't. He goes, "I don't think that's her." Well, and so he drove around a bit, and I was like, "Well, what's the story?" He's like, "Well, she's definitely not her." And anyway, so I'm like, "Well, fuck it. I'll tell her to meet me at the Blue Cat, or not the Blue Cat. The
West.
no.
It
was a little.
wasn't Miss Tasty.
No. It was I can't even remember the name of the bar. It was a stupid little side casino that we used to go to after work. So I met her there with a couple of work friends just to know that like, and she came in and we partied for the night and it was fun. And it was the girl I'd been talking to, but I go, what, you know, like I gotta ask, what the fuck's the picture? She goes, "That's my best friend. I've been sending it to me the whole time."
Oh, she was the girl on the left.
She grew
Clearly.
out a little bit, but turned out to be a super nice.
She was.
chick,
It was still the girl that I was on the phone with, but the worst part about it was that she had deceived me of who she was.
But he got
you know?
catfish before catfishing was even a thing.
Yeah, and then Shane catfished Amanda and convinced her to marry him.
It worked. Sorry about
I'm kidding.
that.
Carol, don't kill me. That story is literally from when I was 12. So
And they're still together, so I mean.
I got to tell the story, and I love you. So, yeah, there it is. Anyway, Mitch, how's it working with Angry Larry every day?
Oh, you know, I mean, it's kind of weird doing a podcast because you've heard all these stories.
We have our
all the
ups
time.
and downs.
You know what's funny to me? And God, I don't even know who said it today, but it was fucking awesome. And they go, "Shane's just mad at anybody that relaxes."
Oh, yeah.
Period. Like, he can't relax. He doesn't even own sweatpants, so fuck him. But, like, maybe it was Matt that said it, because you're in your video game feud. Shane hates video games. Shane hates sweatpants. Shane hates fucking if you take a nap. Shane just hates anybody that relaxes.
It's not that I hate all that stuff. What I hate, especially like video games. Like,
I can't wait to buy him pajama pants for Christmas.
I know full-grown men
Maybe less angry
that are in their 30s like I am, that have children that are in their, they're not even 10 years old, and it's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm playing some fucking video game. What's your kids doing? I don't know. You're not raising your fucking kids. Like you're
just mad at negligent
different.
parents.
That's fine. That's a completely different. Yeah, we all are.
Well, here's what, and I
told you, be a parent, you're fine. Like
I told Mitch about this today, and what was that game I was telling you about?
I can't even hold a candle to my kids in video games.
World of Warcraft.
Right. So
and that
I worked with this dude when I lived in Miles City.
South Park, so
worked with this dude when I lived in Miles City, and he had a computer in his room or whatever, and ends up getting this game, World of Warcraft. And all of a sudden, like within a week, this kid quit coming to work, quit fucking paying bills, doing everything. Fuck, he was so stuck on this goddamn video game that he pissed his entire life away. His family had to send him to a treatment to get off of video gaming. That is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And now I read that parents are literally sending their children to rehab to get them away from phones, video games, social medias.
I have all these video games in my house, but I've never been the person that could sit still long enough. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I think video games are fairly cool, and, like, I don't mind playing a little bit, but I've never been able to play them long enough to even, like, and I get good enough to compete, but I've never been able to play one long enough to, like, get anywhere addicted to it or anything, because I can't sit on the fucking couch long enough. If I, like, the other night, I'm watching Home Alone with my family, and we got 3 kids, and usually one's fucking kicking a leg or doing something, and our little one would walk up in front of the screen, and I'm like, I'm getting full blown, like I'm getting sucked into Home Alone all over again, like I'm 12, going like this. It's Christmas, let's get in the spirit, type of, And our littlest one, she didn't give a shit about Home Alone, so but the way that my fucking ADHD works, dude, it will throw my brain so far to left field that I'm angry that I'm sitting there trying to watch something, and somebody's interrupting it, and I'm like, either somebody shuts up or I just don't even watch. And that's the way video games for me, too, is I cannot sit still long enough. I'd rather go ride a real skateboard, or I'd rather go jump a real dirt bike, or I'd rather, like if it doesn't feel like it can hurt me or scare me or something. I've always been the guy that's, like, been a risk taker no matter what I do. Even if I'm like, let me try to juggle or ride a unicycle or something stupid. I just need a new hobby to learn more. If I'm not learning more, like, and at the same time getting a little scared, I'm not happy. And video games, I love them, but I still know it's a video game. Like, I still know that I can hit continue, and I'll play, like, my kid's a fucking genius on them, but he doesn't play them all the time. We cut him off all the time, and, like, we make him go do things. We went, like, just yesterday, I took him all to the city hall, and we sat and played basketball, and my kids aren't definitely not going to be basketball players. If anybody knows me,
welcome.
Like, all 4 nothing. And don't get me, I made the A team. Fuck you guys.
Braden's definitely going to be taller.
He made the A team. And
Braden doesn't have much desire for too many sports. He loves skateboarding, but he likes, like, the fact that he's free of other people skateboarding part. Like, Braden doesn't. I'm more of got that killer instinct competitive vibe. Like, if Shane goes and hits a jump, I'm hitting it and I'm doing a trick off it. Like, that's the way but Braden doesn't have that super killer competitive vibe to him, which isn't bad. He's a straight A fucking student, and, like, his teachers are coming up telling me,
but the other thing,
telling me he's the smartest kid they've taught, and he's like, they do these Shark Tank things in school, and he's inventing new things already.
You got guys like me and Mitch and you, and we're competitive as all hell, and the reason being is, and it sucks for Braden on this part, is he doesn't have another brother.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So we all grew up with brothers.
You're very right.
And what do you do when you got brothers? You compete. You beat the shit out of each other.
And I've said this before too, and I don't know if it's true or not. And just this is my, like, somebody's probably gonna fucking Google it because we got enough listeners. But my analogy is the first kid. No matter what, you always baby your first kid just a little more than you would your second.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because you don't know what to. If you've never had a kid, there's no fucking manual to describe how nice or how much you should baby him or not. Like, you want to. By your third kid, you're like, brush it off, rub some dirt in it.
Yeah, you see videos on the internet all the time.
And
seeing
there's
moms wiping hand sanitizer. Oh, if you're gonna hold my baby, put your hand sanitizer
your first one,
on, all that stuff.
Your first one for sure. He cries the first time. You don't let him sit in his room and cry for 10 more minutes before they actually fall asleep. You go in there and go, oh, what's wrong? And
there's definitely truth to that. Like, especially with, like,
there's a big truth to it.
My daughter, she's almost, she turns 11 in 4 days. But I have to kind of laugh. Like, I baby her a little more, but then I look at my brother Justin and I look at my brother Sean.
She's also a girl, though, too.
But
and don't get me wrong,
when she fell down and, like, skinned her knee or scraped her knee, I never even ever told her, like, oh, no, you got to get up, or I didn't go running to it. She just bounced up and just kept on going. My son, on the other hand, he's an animal. He's a beast, but he's almost more sensitive than my daughter.
Yeah. And girls are, and if Braden listens to this in 10 years, at this point in their life, my girls are both, like, take a shot, like, hit their head, physically tougher than Braden is right now. Because, like, there's one time Savannah ran around the back of and I've probably told this on the podcast before. She runs around the back of my house one time. And my tailgate was down. She's at full speed and it fucking drills her in the neck. And
those are sharp corners on the
laser, like, literally laser out, cuts her neck. She's bleeding. And she gets up and goes, I'm okay. Runs off.
That's my girl.
Exactly. And Savannah's always been tougher than nails. Like, nothing hurts her. Sometimes she'll get her feelings hurt every once in a while. And then, like, now that we have our youngest, Rhea's literally, like, we're at the old gym looking over the edge watching wrestling. She wants to wrestle, and I got to do everything I can to make her not jump off the top because she doesn't get the concept of that might hurt. Mm-hmm. Braden's the opposite. Braden's over there, like, 4 rows up going, Rhea, don't jump. No, like, and nothing wrong with that. He's also over there, 4 rows over, read every Harry Potter book and programmed 3 video games on his own. You know, so, I mean, what do you do? These topics were far from anything we put on the board.
I'm pretty stoked, though, dude.
I read a Harry Potter book.
How cool is this?
Yeah, I believe you would.
The week they came out,
and I would never
was sitting there. I was in swim team forever, and the week they came out, I was sitting there. So you got a lot of time on your hands.
I'm jealous. No, I'm not kidding you. I'm jealous that I didn't read more. And the only reason when I was young like that I didn't read more is because when I was a kid in school, the reading that you'd get was forced on you.
Oh, yeah.
And it was something that was never in my interest. If somebody would have came up and been like, here's how we split an atom, read about it. Or here's some nanoparticles, read, or here's computer or what.
Those
like
were the
whatever.
only books I read, too.
But we didn't have that either.
Shit.
We had like, what's the name of them? The Hardy Boys. Oh, or like some of the stupid fucking books.
I read a lot of Nancy Drew.
I didn't, though. Like, I was smart.
Hank the Cow Dog.
Dude, I was a smart enough kid that I knew how to skim through to fucking ace the test. And
and that's what I did in high school too. Like
all through high school,
when I stopped trying, you know, like you're just like, well, it's easy now. I'm just here to hang out with my friends and eat free meals.
Me too. And here's what made me mad about high school is like, and I got to where like wrestling was my main focus or whatever, but in high school, none of my core classes were shit that interested me at all. And math could interest me.
History,
math. Me too. I crushed history. I crushed
history. Was
reading.
Awesome.
But math would interest me if you would have been like, hey, if we did this and fucking physics would sling you around the moon, that'd be fine. But sitting there doing algebra by the book and be forced on of, okay, I know it.
Yeah.
But, okay, go home and do 50 more problems of something you know.
Well, fuck, I just did that.
I go.
I
got friends to hang out with. You still do. But it's been a while since I got on this rant in a podcast.
But you know
what bugs me like crazy is our fucking...
Oh, the system.
Our system is so fucked. Because your mom, and she hated me because I was a shithead, I'm sure. But Mitch's mom, by the way, everybody, was my biology teacher. And biology would have been one of my fucking, like... I'll learn that inside and out, upside down and sideways. But because I was probably a fucking 7th grade little prick chasing girls or whatever I was doing, and that the homework I was sent home with, I didn't need to go learn the inside of a cell again because I can memorize the inside of a cell 45 times and backwards.
Yeah, because you see on the internet, you know, everybody knows that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but they don't know what the fuck that means.
But we didn't have the internet. Well, I mean, we did, but it wasn't.
No, I didn't have.
We didn't have phone. So
I didn't even have a smartphone until I 2013.
My first cell phone was in high school. I had a bag phone. And then I went to college. I had a cell phone when I moved to college. It was old cell ones. And I remember I got one of the first cool flip phones that you'd open and like you could actually buy a cool case for it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got one of the first camera phones, like the first one out. And they were like, I'd take a picture from you to me away and it wouldn't show your face hardly.
Oh,
but
you'd have to go to Glasgow
so,
not even Glasgow, like Lewistown and Havre, just so it would load up.
You could take the pictures. I lived in Phoenix at the time. I was in college.
Oh, yeah.
So you could take the pictures, but you couldn't send pictures yet. There was no text messages. We were still on call. Like you had a picture phone, you could take pictures, but text messages weren't something. And then suddenly people started realizing texts. And now texts are like
communicate these days.
Yeah, nobody fucking calls anybody anymore.
I do.
I do too.
Oh yeah, that's
Shane usually just calls before I'm up because I'm a bartender schedule, and if he calls at 10, I'm not awake yet. No.
You know what the most obnoxious thing is and text messages, and it's slicker than a whiskey fart. That shit's handy, but it's like, hey babe, do you want to see if your sister and Liam want to go out and eat supper with us at the pizza joint? Yeah, let me text her.
How about you just call her and get the answer right now?
Fucking phone and call.
I agree.
Well, have you tried
Carol's
talking
whole
to those
family,
girls?
like her whole family, does the FaceTime quite a bit, but it's more of a daily occurrence. They just FaceTime to bullshit. It's not if you need something, you quickly call them that way.
Right.
Let me text them. Same thing, and I'm the same way. Like, let me text them. Or people get scared of actually talking to people. It's
if I'm in a hurry,
anymore.
If I'm in a hurry with something, I
it's
call.
A generational.
It's
type
weird
of
to
thing.
me.
And I saw on the internet, like, oh, yeah, you guys are going to start a revolution, but you can't even order a pizza on the phone.
Exactly. For
Those
real.
are people my age.
I literally learned
28.
which I learned my first dirt bike I bought going as door to door selling cards and like something, they used to send you those things in the mail, like if you go door to door and sell these Christmas cards and little gifts,
Right.
you could make this X amount of money. Well, I went and maxed that fucker out and bought a dirt bike. But I learned cold calling skills early, and I learned how to talk to people early. And I remember growing up, like, wanting to go hunting, and my brother would be like, here, Travis, call him. And, like, I've never had that fear of calling to talk to somebody. Like, I'll call President Trump and talk to him. All it is a conversation. What's going to go wrong? You say hi. If he goes, or,
No.
what do you do? You just bullshit.
I've just got that skill later. I've always been kind of like that.
And
I
get it. A lot of people do. And I totally understand that because I've actually pulled back more now that I literally, we're in here doing the podcast in the same studio I do most of my graphic design and stuff at. But there'll be times I'll get a call before noon that I don't really want to answer anymore. And I'll wait and I'll send them a fucking message and say, hey, sorry, and it isn't so much that I don't want to answer it. I'm so fucking ADHD that if I take that call, I'm going to go full on what they wanted me to
throw
do.
You off track.
As opposed to fucking standing here and finishing what I'm doing, But now you can text them. It's a different world.
Yeah, and like I never really took after my dad, and I never sat there and because I had ADD too, I just never,
Were you ever diagnosed?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah. And
could be. I've taken the tests now. I've actually went to the doctor.
Took him to the doctor. When I was a kid and everything. Of course, I was in detention all the time. For talking or distracting in class and everything.
And I was never being
asshole.
When I was getting detention.
You were being a dick to the teachers. You were just
interrupted for fucking drumming on my desk or something stupid. And my kid's doing that right now. Braden is the same way. But he's literally fucking genius smart. He tests off the charts. But he would with ADHD too. But do you fucking give him the medicine or not? Or do you accept that that's what it is and that it's a product of the system where you try to... And don't get me wrong, I look back right now, I can't think of how many people have told me, man, you've got so much potential, you could do, And I know it in my own head. That's the worst part about it, is I know it in my own head when I've been distracted and my day's been fucked up and I screwed something up on my own. And it's...
Well, it's definitely the system because... we changed our system, back, No Child Left Behind and all that stuff. No Child Left Behind. And then you look at all this stuff where all the other countries
we had extended studies when I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Like in grade school, we had these things called extended studies. So when I would get bored with my regular math, I'd get to go see the counselor, who was actually, she's my next door neighbor now. but she had she had like a programming computer in her room.
Yeah.
And this was like Moon Patrol was the best fucking thing we had as computers. But I could go and like work on computer programming and do my thing if I finish my shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So give me a goal and then to something I want to do. Dude, I'm gone in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll do your fucking 3-hour homework thing. And
Mrs. Carney was my 5th grade teacher, and we had a computer. Once you get your shit done, go do that. And one time I was bullshitting her at the bar, and she's like, "You're the fucking you were so smart that it."
Like with me growing
well, so
up.
I mean, what do you think could have made the difference?
I don't know.
The difference in programming?
Well, yeah. Well,
to me, the difference in what they
we had
gave
the
me
little
in front
box
of me.
of a computer, and
Well, I know.
there was a cool game.
No, I mean not
like
the
that.
programming, the computer programming of your classroom agenda. Like, say you're in 5th grade. What do you think would have made the difference of Mitch as a billionaire entrepreneur or Mitch drove Blade for the county?
Working with Shane Carnahan with
Yeah, I mean,
county.
Well, I've never really had aspirations to go be Elon Musk or anything like that. It's just like when I had the motivation to get my homework done, I did it
Me too.
real quick. I was smart enough, as she said, but the motivation to get my homework done and go fuck around on the computer.
So
I did that.
Or so you get home and you still have an hour of homework, but yet I don't know what your motivation would have been as a kid, but I'd ride my bicycle out to go fishing at the golf course or whatever it was. That was way more enticing to me than to finish the 15 15 questions that I already knew how to do.
Yeah,
so to me,
exactly.
in my brain as a kid,
Why do what you already know how to do?
I'm going to school to learn. And if I already learned what you're trying to show me, why should I repeat it over and over and over and over? Knowing then, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have been like a fucking badass architect or something.
Yeah.
But I knew for a fact that Alg 2 was not anything I was probably going to need. And not because I'm dumb or anything like that. I just knew that my path was probably a little different.
The way it's presented, I think,
That's what it is. It's more of a grind than...
with architect, you definitely would have needed Alg 2 or something like that.
So put that in front of me while I'm fucking learning Alg 2, as opposed to learn X equals Y times 27Z, whatever it is. If you put that in front of me and go, here's why you would use it. That to me would make...
Oh, yeah. Well, and not the tricky word questions and stuff like that,
It was more of a trick to see if they could trick you. A lot of test things would be to see if they could trick you. And I passed school fine. It wasn't a thing about that. It was... My biggest thing would always be homework. I'd fucking...
Yeah, that was my grades.
I'd blow off my homework to do it in shop class or something. And know that especially the classes that I knew could write on the test, I'd go just ace the test. If the test was 80% of my grade, fuck it, getting an 80.
Dude, I
mean, literally.
Yep.
And that's where I ended up butting heads with your mom because she'd wanted us to sit down, take notes, and do her thing. And I go like, I already know that. Let me learn about the inside of the fucking frog vagina or what. Like, that's a little stretch of a, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
I love that part. I wish that like. We don't, and it's not our teacher's fault by any means.
No, it's
the curriculum fault, and it's our teachers should get way more extra money.
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
there should be guys
they're babysitting the whole country, and they're raising, and now the parents
because you still got to raise the assholes too.
Yeah, and the problem is the parents believe their kids more than the teachers.
Parents don't want to be a parent anymore. They want to be their
Exactly.
children's friend. Like with me growing up, fuck everything any teacher ever fucking told me. I kid you not. I fucking retained it. Anything they talked about, I retained it. My drive was, I didn't want to fucking take what they told me and put it pen to paper. What the fuck? You already told me what I need to know. Why
How
the
much can you
fuck?
recite?
Oh yeah.
Why the fuck do I need to put it on paper? Why the fuck do I need to write down that the Earth was formed 5.5 to 6 billion fucking years ago?
And
Why the fuck do I need to put? You just told me. I know it. I got it.
A guy like Shane, like you.
But then again,
man, if they could have sent you out the fucking back door and said,
"Go fuck
hey,
around,"
go not even label parts, but take down the wheel on this fucking pickup or something stupid like that. But said, this is your grade. Can you or can you not? And then can you go, what should I do? Would have been a way better fucking idea than going, Please recite Homer the Iliad.
I absolutely loved learning science.
Me too. I was a science freak. Still am.
Biology.
History is the most important subject.
I agree.
We don't take enough of that.
I love the learning fact, but the fact that they wanted me to fucking
me too
write down everything they just told me.
Honestly,
fuck
off. And this sounds terrible too, and that's what I'm getting to.
But
I absolutely love the learning fact. If you can teach me something new, I love it. You know what I hate? Repetitive doing something you already taught me. That, and even if I'm not quite 100% right, but I knew that it wasn't where my interests were. You know, like.
Yeah.
You got to kind of double down on what you're good at.
But by the time I was 17...
Each person's different, you know, like...
By the time I was 17, it was funny because mechanical stuff, fuck, it just comes to me.
Mitch take the ASVAB.
Mitch sees
me. You take the ASVAB, like, that's probably the best
still got recruiters
test.
Calling me because of that.
Mitch sees me at work.
The test is like, the gears are turning this way, it's turning this belt, and it's turning this way. Which way is the machine gonna turn? Like, oh yeah, that gear's going that way.
Yeah, the cog's gonna go this way.
Yeah.
But Mitch sees me at work. Like when I'm mechanic and I go into my own, like, and even welding, I go in my own little world. Like I just do my own shit. But by the time when I was 17 years old, I was going to school. I ended up leaving high school and going doing my own shit. And I'm going to school and I'm learning
Too many people pissed you off.
I'm learning how to work on equipment. And my instructor at this place goes, we need to pull a final drive out of this D7H dozer. I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck final drive is. I'm just learning. We pull this thing in. I look in a fucking book. I read through it. 17 fucking year old man, read through this fucking book. And I go, oh, okay. I pull a final drive out, completely rebuild it, and put this motherfucker back in. There's guys with degrees that gone to school for years and years and years and still could never figure that out, even reading the book. But I didn't have to put anything to paper.
That's the problem with engineering nowadays. Like, I went to school at one of the top engineering schools in the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were my friends. And... yeah, they were very smart, and the nice thing is a lot of them were farm kids as well, so they have practical knowledge. But a lot of them, you know, like, they never have to work on shit.
Never had to be challenged.
They don't have any practical knowledge. Like, when I was working on the power lines as well, you know, like, oh, sure, you did all the stress tests on this particular material and stuff like this, but what about prevailing winds and stuff like this? You got to account for, you know...
something that there's a lot of things that you cannot learn in a classroom period.
Exactly.
And some people are really good at the classroom learning, and some people are really good at being like your next accountant, and they love numbers and they love to crunch things. But I think the biggest thing where we go wrong in our education system is because by the time you're in junior high, you kind of got a grasp of what you're into a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I'm leaving high school, I thought of it, and I'm still into motorcycles. I really thought, like, I'm going to go be a motorcycle mechanic. That's what I'm going to do. But you still kind of got a guide of what you might be into a bit. But everybody's standardized to the same 4 subjects that you have to do. And let's say that I was a fucking music phenom. You still only get 1 hour of choir a day. Then you get out of school, or you get 1 hour of band. And in band, you play all brass instruments. You don't get to play a fucking guitar that would have made you... and now they're starting to get some of that. They're starting to get it. But we don't individualize enough for what kids are good at what. You know, like, you could get a shit ton of kids like Shane that they could be the best fucking equipment operator in the world. Let's go get them started. Or that's what I mean. Let's go get them started.
And,
or let's go get them...
Shane, you know,
obviously,
video games.
Obviously, Shane...
That's
obviously,
what he's
Shane...
right now.
Obviously, Shane wasn't fucking... awesome in a great big group of 35 kids. Go put him individually and let him fucking do something, or give him something. You know, but
it comes down to
you should be able to. And the biggest thing is, it eventually comes down to the amount of money that our taxes go to fucking education.
Honestly,
to me,
I think
your mom should be paid more than a fucking pro sports star.
Dude.
Yeah.
Our doctors, and our teachers should make more fucking
wages,
money.
and then
babysitting wages
psychology
suck.
wages, and then they have to be psychologists now because parents don't want to be.
Teachers, honestly, teachers need fucking hazard pay.
Hazard pay for
Mitchell's mom flat out watched me one time.
Kids like Shane.
Mitchell's mom flat out watched me one time. This kid thought he was being funny, behind me. And what he was saying wasn't really affecting me. It didn't really bother me. All of a sudden, Mitchell's mom watched me stand up, grab a chair, and fucking club this kid.
Shane's always been a little crazy. That's why he gets good, like, I'm a good friend of his because I'm mellow like
that lady.
The opposite. I'm the guy that's like,
she never deserved to see something like that.
No.
And was I a fucking insane asshole, psychotic child? No, I just fucking hated annoying people.
People who thought they were better than everybody else. Too.
That was my problem. A big part of mine in school was I was short and redheaded. And don't get me wrong, I got picked on like fucking crazy. And now that Carol and I talk about this now, I wouldn't trade it for the world now because that's where my fucking quick tongue came from. You know, you learn.
Oh, yeah, thick skin.
I learned to go like, you can't say something that's going to hurt me. And if you do, I'm going to fucking make you feel so stupid anyway.
Nice try, buddy.
Exactly. Now. And I would have never learned that had I not been picked on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we all.
But don't get me wrong, when I was in 7th grade getting picked on, I sure as fuck didn't want that. I sure was not having fun then. And I was still sitting back thinking, like, I want to smash this kid's face with a brick.
But
I tried once. I tried once, and I'd fucking grabbed a dirt clump instead of a rock clump type of, and I would fight back. But the difference, the biggest thing for me is I come down to it is we give, our tax money goes to so many stupid fucking things. And I think that right now, and I told you before when we came in and talked, I'm not going to get too political, but I literally think our Congress is about to get a crazy-ass shakedown. I think lobbyists are about to get the fucking boot. And a lot of that tax money that we've been giving away, like literally giving away to fucking, let's make Hire America higher.
Other countries for
is going to come back eventually to our infrastructure. And let's get this shit straight.
Like,
let's get this the way that it should be.
Yeah,
you just said it, infrastructure. The two things that need to be the fucking pump money and lined out is education, infrastructure.
Yes.
Because good education is going to bring good infrastructure, and with both of them, you can run a great fucking country.
Exactly. And the problem is, though, like I said, what our fucking straight education is supposed to be, it's off. It's so far off. We're like, fuck. I can't even quote the number because fact checker's not here to write it down, but we're not the top. America's not the top, and we're not even close.
Yeah.
To teaching kids.
No,
let's say Shane knew as a kid, his dad owns this big ass fucking business of wrecking, towing, whatever it is, and he would work there as that, but let's teach him some things that might help him fucking learn when he goes back to that job.
Maybe become a machinist or something like that.
As opposed to, Shane, you should probably learn fucking what's not going to help you at all.
You know what the greatest
for 3 years in a row.
You know what one of the single greatest things I've ever learned was? And I didn't learn it in high school because, of course, I got kicked out of high school. I did go on.
I don't blame him. You were a dickhead in high school. Not to me, but
I did go on to get a high school diploma.
I can't imagine being your teacher.
And I was never a bully. I wasn't a bully. I wasn't mean to people.
You were skinny as fuck in high school. You couldn't be a bully.
I was just an asshole. I was defiant, and they couldn't deal with me. And I went to what they called a job corps, which was the best thing. But you know what the greatest thing I learned in that place was?
They need to do more of that these days.
The greatest thing I learned in that place was they teach you how to balance a checkbook and do your taxes.
Period.
Why the fuck don't they do that in high school?
To me,
silly.
I agree. Things that when you come out of high school, and because the age range that it is, when you come out of high school, you're an adult. Boom, you get out, you're 18. I was 18 when I graduated.
That's not how they do it anymore.
Teach me the things I need to know to be an adult. I'd much rather have learned the risks of taking 3 credit cards on as I went to college. And don't get me wrong, my parents didn't teach me this. Like, that's not my, whatever, product of whatever. I mean, they might have, but they didn't. It wasn't the same as if I went through, let's say I went through Mrs. Perry's class, and she's like, hey, this is interest. This is how much you'll end up spending. This is what you'll do. As opposed to sitting back and learning things that I'm not going to learn when I come out and be an adult. And I know there's electives you can take. But no, there's not. There should be a 4-year fucking class on how to pay your bills on time and make credit. Like,
exactly.
Period.
Well, the people that taught us,
or how to pay things off.
Things were a lot easier back then. My dad graduated in '79, and
you go back that far, it was a one household income.
Exactly.
The man made all the money at the mine, or the man made. And you can't do that now.
It was like a 2-bedroom house, and everybody was fine with that. My dad, work study, like you're saying, he would leave school just to go hunting in just out south of Malta just to put food on the table.
Exactly. And it should. The thing is even through high school, even as they're starting to grow up, even juniors, seniors, they're still children.
Oh yeah. Well,
and
I was still
big time
a child
still
until I, even left college, and that's what they're training people to do.
I've said this for years, and this is probably wrong because there's plenty of people that had their fucking path and career so figured out that they're the next principal of the United States.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of kids that literally should not decide what you're going to do until you're at least 24.
Oh yeah,
go out and experience. For one, go out and experience the world because some people, if you've been under your lock and key at your parents' house, you cannot wait to go have a beer with your friends 300,000 miles away. Where that's super exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Of course, yeah, but.
And I went down to Phoenix and I learned some at motorcycle mechanic school. But when I was there, I'd already learned more from being in my dad's shop and being around motorcycles than I was ever going to learn paying 17 grand to fucking go to motorcycle mechanic school. But yet, that's what I wanted to do was go to that because you need that certification to get in the job, and it did get me some decent jobs. But it's the push. So crazy.
It's the push for kids to go through high school and know what they want to do. Well, to push them to go to.
You know how many counselors go, kid, you're not going to do that, or how many counselors, or how many kids go, go to college, go to straight 4-year school. So I go, why would I want to go do 4 more years of algebra and English?
Yeah, and then everybody's complaining why they're so far in debt. Like, go to a 2-year school. It's the base pay is a lot cheaper, and then you got a trade to fall back on if just. Do that trade.
Why not teach a kid how to fucking mow a lawn for a couple bucks?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at least to you know what you should learn is there should be literally an entrepreneurship class.
Oh, yeah.
That every kid in high school has to go get a job, whether it's a lemonade stand or a lawn mowing business or graphic design, whatever it is.
Charge them tax, too.
Exactly. Period. Yeah, no, for real.
You got to figure that in,
But learn how to make your own dollar. Learn how to pay your wages. Learn how to do your taxes. Learn how to pay an employee if you got one. But those are things you should come out into the world knowing on our tax dollars. Mm-hmm. As opposed to sending kids out on their tax dollars that go, shit, I got to college, I drank too much, and I sure hope you can help me out, Mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, rant over. Let's move on to the rest of the topics and fucking pause this thing. But I could rant on education.
Oh, yeah.
For years. And
well, it's more of a society issue. In
America, it's a crazy spot we're at right now, and
they're trying to get every kid to be an engineer, but not every kid is an engineer.
No, not at all.
We should take a quick break.
Let's do it. And so we took a quick break, and as I was out peeing, I came back to this fucking thought in my head, and after this, we're gonna try to end some of the seriousness of this podcast and move on to some funny shit and making fun of Mitch and whatever we gotta do. But
lighter side of life.
I'm left
as we live in a small town America, and yeah, we still have to have the same education as everybody else. But how many kids were farmer ranch kids that lived here?
Went on to do great things.
They did. They either went on to, but there's also ones that knew they were maybe taking over the business. And how much could we have taught them?
Well,
of how to grow this, how to fucking do that, and those are hands-on things. But
that's the nice thing about.
Or gave them extra time.
MSU Bozeman, they got the farm ag program.
Yeah, if you paid $20,000 a year to go to MSU Bozeman.
Well, I didn't do that.
So. Well, I know. Some kids don't, and some kids do. But still, why can't we educate those fucking things you want to know for free?
These isolated kids are, they know they're going to do this, or maybe they don't. But I got a buddy that went and did other things, and then well, now I realize I do want to go back to the farm. Now I can learn the new scientific stuff about farming and shit like that.
That would have been something simple in high school when you were paid for it to fucking put in front of them. You got kids for 8 hours a day. That's something that drives me nuts too, is you give them for 8 hours a day and you still send them home with fucking 2 to 3 hours of homework. And don't get me wrong, Braden's probably fucking off in class sometimes and needing to come home and do homework. But he's a smart kid.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't imagine a kid that isn't so bright, how fucking hard he would have to struggle at home just to complete that assignment every day. And how tough that could be, It's crazy. And the No Child Left Behind.
I think every
no people
kid-
are the same. There ain't a fucking person on this planet that's exactly the same. So you got to give them. You take your smart kids like Mitch, make him a fucking rocket scientist. Where do our scientists come from? Or you got another kid that wants to run the family farm. Teach him how to fucking do it right.
Yeah.
Teach him the books. Teach him the whatever. Anyway, rant over. Let's fucking get into something funny. Sorry. I could go off on that for years because it does frustrate me bad.
Every day.
Because I was one of those kids and I'm self-diagnosed ADHD, never been medicated, but I know my attention lacked. If there is a kid or a fucking cute girl or something next to me that said something, sorry, math problem, I'm gone. I'm going to ace your test and then I'm done. But like Shane said, all of it is writing down and regurgitating.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be, that's not learning.
And I was in the, smart kid classes, and
Me too.
And the girls that ranked, like how they rank you, they were like 2, 3, 4 in the class, and they'd still, I'd be fucking around in class, and one of them turned around one day. I remember this very vividly, like, Mitch, some of us have to try to learn how to do this stuff. I was like, oh fuck.
Sorry about your luck.
Well, exactly, but
and then now she's in a specialist doctor's program and stuff like that. And now
well, and that was the discipline. That was the attention and the
You're
discipline.
just working at the county, working with Shane.
But like I said, the actual problem is that we have 30 teachers in the entire school to teach 300 kids, and this is vague numbers. But there's not even the money for those teachers, and who wants to go get a teacher job
and
when you could go make more money to run a blade for the county and have almost as good a retirement, if not better, type of thing. It's crazy to think.
Dude, I love it.
No, I mean,
I used to stare out the window. I just stare out the window at school and be like, "All right, I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm picking it up. I really don't give a fuck."
I think,
but what I always like is also you'd get the, "Hey, stop staring at the window. Nobody's going to pay you to stare out a fucking window." Well, they never said fucking, but nobody's going to pay you to stare out a window. Guess what happened, people? I get paid to stare out a fucking window of a grader or a dozer or a scraper moving fucking dirt.
You know how many times I got told to shut the hell up and you're never going to be paid to talk? Lick 'em.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. For the last 10 years of my life,
wrong.
I have made money being not shy. Which is something that I had originally, but it was never. You could have showed me how to, if I in high school, you could have taught me FM radio or showed me like an entrepreneurship program type of thing. I could have crushed it in something like that,
right.
But it's way different. Anyway, I'm gonna look up there.
Speaking of not being shy,
winner. Oh, comedy show Friday. I want to plug that again, you fucks out there. We got for those of you listening in Malta. Sorry for being so serious. We got all. Mitch came in here and I thought about his mom and how much she should have loved me but didn't. No, I'm just kidding. Not in that kind of love by any means. I know that we butted heads when I was in high school.
She's a great educator.
But I also knew that biology was one of my favorite classes. You know what I mean? But it was so that's where that got off. But that's whatever.
Right.
You know where else it got off? Was the 7 shots of tequila. No, it wasn't 7. It was not 7.
Thanks for being an adult.
And also, when I turned 21, I go down all the bars in town. Like, you don't know. Well, every time I run into somebody your guys' age, and like, oh, your mom was my favorite teacher, and stuff like that. And like, yeah, well,
she was fun. She was definitely a fun teacher, for real.
I was a dickhead in her class, I'm sure.
And all you dickheads, it's not very fun when she gets home.
You know what, though? I
wasn't a dickhead. I
kind of hope she listens to this because I still think she's awesome for what she does, even today, where she's at and what she's doing. I love what she does. And even then, I did. And I think I tried to kill her with kindness, but she just wasn't having it. I was an asshole. Not a complete asshole. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe she just hates redheads.
No.
But, I get that. I get that there's kids that are gonna go, sorry, I'm bored.
Everybody's got their favorite teacher, and she was eccentric, so she made it fun and everything. And I was back on the vis-a-vis overhead projector days. And
she jumped on her desk one day and was yelling about something. She was just into something. She's really having fun.
Yeah, those science teachers really.
And it was super cool. And
my biggest problem with
you're kind of weird, but it's cool.
My biggest problem that I'm sure she had with me is that I talk too much. Period. She just don't talk over people. And this podcast has brought a lot of that to me of listening back to myself and how much I do talk over people. Like Shane will start talking, I'll fucking interrupt and start jabbering.
Oh, I heard you talking about that on the last podcast.
And I do this all the time.
But
This has helped me be better at it, but I'm still knowing my own head that because I think
when you brought that up, I was like, oh, well, I never noticed anything like that. But maybe
the way my
everybody's just
ADHD head
self-conscious
works,
on their part.
if I don't fucking get that information out, I might forget about it. And the next thing I'm on, like, Mitch, do you know Budweiser labels made? You know, whatever. But I'll.
The bow ties?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, in my own head, when a spark goes off and I got an idea,
Yeah.
it's got to spew out, or I'm not going to have that same idea.
That's why I have a random assortment of knowledge, like trivia in like current world affairs class. You know, I would crush
CWA.
that too. Yeah, you know,
We did a deal. We did debates in CWA. Whether we landed on the moon or not was one of them.
Oh,
I won both sides.
yeah, of course. You know,
And we did another debate whether cigarettes should be legal or not, and I won both sides of that also.
America.
You know, I almost went America and dropped the mic.
That's all
actually, I had to debate. I had
For
to
the
debate
four, that's all you really need.
I actually had to
the
debate.
Constitution.
I had to debate our German exchange student, and she went away crying on one of them. And I go, if you think cigarettes should be if you don't think cigarettes should be legal, then why in the hell can I go buy a Corvette and go 200 miles an hour, even though the speed limit is 55? And you could go and smoke, even though you're not supposed to have it, you know, like until you're 18. What's the difference? You tell me I shouldn't have too many cigarettes. You tell me I shouldn't have too much gasoline, but regulate that.
If you want to destroy yourself, that's your own prerogative.
Exactly.
America.
You want to wreck yourself? You do it.
Fuck
It could be
yeah.
cheeseburgers. It could be weed. It could be fucking meth. It depends on the person you are.
I'm a libertarian at heart, so.
I am too.
But also, well, yeah, that always
Slightly.
Also
I
falls
wouldn't even
in.
say it hard.
I shouldn't have to pay for your mistakes.
I'm a guy that like. Well, I don't know. I guess things should just be right. I don't want to fucking.
Rules of the Old West kind of always apply, you know.
You're right.
But
Do unto
also,
others.
Don't be an asshole. But are we moving on to
Nah,
bartending, or?
I don't even know, man. Sorry for the fucking huge rant, everybody.
Well, that's the way it goes. You know, just kind of
That's the
go
way-
off on a topic, and
That's what a podcast should be. And like I said, I'm passionate as fuck about that. I could have a podcast about let's fix this shit the way that we
Yeah.
send our kids out into the world at 18. You slap them on the butt and go, all right, you're good, kid. Either you go to Job
It's
Corps
not how
or you
it
go to
works
fucking
anymore, though,
you go to
know. You got kids on the cell phone plan for 28 or whatever, and your
Fucking right.
self-insurance, and because that's
You know
how
what
it
you
works.
wouldn't
That's
have?
how it's set up now.
You wouldn't have that if you taught them how to fucking organize that in school. When you have them 8 hours a day.
If you didn't send them off to college to go pursue some bullshit degree,
That's what I mean, though. But you smack them in the ass and go,
you know,
here's your cell phone
well-
plan, here's power, here's rent, here's learn it.
Yeah, you know what
all
they
in
say,
one. There's no build up.
Apprenticeship is the original 4-year degree. You know, you're still making money
Very right.
and learning a very skilled trade.
You're right, and that should be more. That should be more the way that schools ran.
And that's
Like,
why
if
our
you're
infrastructure's
hot,
falling apart.
I think if you're hot, though, you should probably try the porn industry.
Turn around the other way, Shane.
Try the porn industry. There's good
Not
money in
even
that.
porn. Just start taking pictures on Instagram if you're cute.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean-
because you'll make $1 million if you do it right.
Well,
I told Carol
and-
forever. I was like, I don't know how you even got with me. You could have just kept your Instagram going and been.
Well, yeah, even now the Instagram, people are reporting them, and now they're getting audited by the IRS.
Exactly.
Followers really cut down after she had a kid and you were in the pictures.
So nobody likes the white ginger kid hanging out. I know, man. I know.
Short
But
white.
that's the way it should be. So, off the fucking subject of education. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
we're,
let's move on.
we're only an hour in on education.
Oh wow, time flies.
Mitch and I have both bartended before.
Did you learn anything?
They didn't teach me anything before. No, I'm just
Learned
kidding.
a lot
I did learn a
bartending.
lot. I've learned a lot bartending.
People are assholes.
Yeah,
Bartending, you learn to hate everybody, and you learn to hate every popular song ever brought up.
Oh,
I
come
can make
on,
your hands
Chavez.
clap.
It ain't
Oh.
that bad. Is it Chavez?
Chavez. Yeah, when they're too drunk, they call me Chavez. But
I had to
Every
give
popular
people
song-
money back. Like I'd slide them their money back so I got to skip their song on the jukebox because no, we're not listening to that song.
do you know how many times, like, and there's certain ones. Each bar has their own, and you got. I mean, or I shouldn't even say each bar, but each patron has their own 5-10 songs that they'll play, and then and usually when a new fucking great song comes out, you'll hear it the first time, And I go, I'm bartending. This is going to suck by next weekend. And then it's played 47 fucking times.
Oh, yeah. Like,
that's why I like a lot of underground stuff.
Like, guys, you take guys like me, fuck, I know a million songs. Slide $10.
Drunk, you step the jukebox.
Slide a $10 bill in a jukebox and go,
mind's blank.
Fuck, am I going to
Mitch goes, the national anthem. He knows 37,000 great songs, but he goes, the national anthem.
Brings a tear to my eye every time.
God bless America.
God bless America.
But it is. It's the truth. And when you bartend, it's tough to fucking... And I get it. You want to come out to the club or the bar and do your thing, and you want to hear the fucking hit songs and everything. But when you're the bartender that's behind that bar every weekend, man, those songs drive you crazy.
When you're in a bar and you hear the same song over and over and over, like you listen to the same song like 6 times. Dude, if I like the band Pop Evil. If I ever have to hear that fucking song 155 ever again,
here, let me get it for you real quick.
Jesus Christ, dude, you'll hear that song fucking 15 times in one night.
The Sound of Silence, is that by the Five Finger Death Punch?
No, it's Disturbed that remade it.
Yeah,
and
it was good. They did a good job on it.
You want to hear something?
When you bartend for pool every week,
100 million fucking views. Or whatever it is.
Three times a night, you'll hear it.
Somebody played it while I got down to shoot on my pool leagues tonight, and I was like, "This fucking sucks." And Trenton goes, "I played it." I go, "Yeah, well, you didn't bartend.
You should play the Boba Flex version."
You should. You're right. I can't play Sound of Silence, but Boba Flex played Sound of Silence before Disturbed ripped him off of playing it.
Oh, speaking of that,
and then the year they come out with that song, Boba Flex goes on tour with them, and Boba Flex wasn't allowed to play it on fucking tour.
Oh,
and
really?
Boba Flex's version is so fucking cool. It's not some fucking long, monotonous, mundane, fucking boring bullshit. Boba Flex turns it into a fucking fun rock song.
Well, like when I was still bartending, I'd have the app going on the AMI jukebox. So they'd play the Sound of Silence by Disturbed, and then I'd play the Sound of Silence off Trolls the movie, just to bring the mood, like fuck your Sound of Silence, I'll play the one off
Mitch
Trolls.
is that asshole that'll walk into a full bar and play the fucking Baby Shark song or something.
No, I fucking hate that.
What's that?
Baby Shark?
No.
You've got a kid and you've never heard Baby Shark?
Yeah, my kid asked me to listen to punk rock or metal. Seriously, we get in the pickup and it's like punk rock, and I put in the fucking Crusty Demons of Dirt.
That's awesome. Because
1 and 2.
I'm not going to play Baby Shark for you, and I'm not going to play it over this, but it's got...
Thank you.
I just looked it up to show my dad, and I want to say it's like 2 to 4 billion views.
Wow.
Correct.
Stupid. Like, those two little kids that did the fucking Baby Shark... And it's the dumbest song ever.
So
I don't know if you've heard. I'm sure you've heard it, but yeah, it's the new. What does the fox say? It's the new. Bing ding dang dang dang. Yeah, it's
no.
That's like, old now. It goes
Baby Shark.
I'm so fortunate that Titus. It is funny though, because I really like everything punk rock, heavy metal. But now I'm to the point where my kid likes my music that I listen to, but I gotta buy the edited versions of it.
You know what?
And then we're cruising the pickup, driving somewhere, and we're fucking jamming out, and we're singing.
Well, that's why I like Meatloaf now. So
you've got me there because.
And I got to sing like "Fuck Authority" with my son, and I'm like, "Buck Authority, sign a majority, raised by the system," and I'm like,
Braden learns songs that I play like on guitar
my
and stuff.
kid's just fucking headbanging in the passenger seat. It's the fucking coolest thing ever.
Our daughters are nuts over music. Braden, like, he loves music, but he likes to play it and he likes to learn it. But our daughters are like crazy over music. Well, Kara listens to all like, and she listens to some good hard rock and stuff too. But like a lot of like popular new age music.
Can't do it.
And then I know, me neither. We'll get in the fucking car.
Well, yeah.
And my daughter will be singing along a song that's like, something smack that bitch. And she's like, well, it's already. I'm like, no. But they're like. He's like, it's already been done. And I'm like, if I was a little kid, I'd get my fucking head slapped if I listened to something that.
Yeah. There's nothing better. Like, it sounds fucked up. Getting in the pickup and Titus like, hey, Dad, what was that song we listened to the other day? I'm like, Dead Skin Mask by Slayer or Rain and Blood by Slayer. Let's listen to it. Oh, all right, cool. We can listen to it. And I got to fucking thumb through my phone on YouTube and find an edited version, which, you know how hard it is to find edited versions of Slayer?
There's
but when
so
you
many
do,
times.
and then, dude, he goes into like a special place. Like, he goes to the place I go to when I'm at concerts where I'm just so happy to be there. And he goes in that place in that fucking passenger seat.
You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, and he's just stoked to be in that passenger seat, listen to fucking metal with Dad, and it's the coolest thing in the world. And everybody sucks but me and Dad.
You know what's fucking funny about, and I don't get me wrong, I feel around the right people, I try not to use the cuss words that I do, but I've grew up near Sailor, and I don't mind using. I feel like an F-bomb sometimes accentuates the way that I want to put it, but
Oh, fuck yeah.
and it had nothing to do with it. Well,
I
Carol,
lost some social skills when I was out on the road, and, you know, like I was living in hotel rooms, and like, God, I need to, you know, get used to being around other people, you know, let alone girls and stuff like that too. Well, like just in public and everything, you know, I'm just, you know, on the power line, on the power lines, you know, it's all guys building power line and fucking.
I did that for, I fenced for a long time, and like we were in every remote town, hillbilly fucking town, no women. I wasn't old enough to go to the bar. So what do you do?
Yeah.
I'd go back to the payphone every night and call some random, you know, whatever. Call my mom or call whatever. But
some random friend.
Usually, yeah. But no, that sucks. You're right.
Just lost a lot of social skills.
Well, speaking of my social skills, it went south right there. What I was going to was Carol a lot of times says, "Give me my damn blanket back." Like we're on the couch or the kids fucking we got a couple couch blankets. She goes, "Give me my damn blanket." Well, now Rhea, our youngest one, she's got her one blankie. And, like, she'll be laying there. She'll go, "I need my damn blue blankie." And, like, you...
Get your own damn blankie.
It's so fucking cute sometimes that you have a tough time. Like, she'll come walking out with it around her. She's like, "I got my damn blue blankie." And she just says it like that's the way you say it.
I want to be mad at you.
I know, I want to be mad at you, but
cute.
I'm like, that's... Yeah. It's awesome to hear that, you know. Not to hear that. You're like...
Oh, damn.
Like I said, you want to...
Damn, ain't that bad, though. I mean,
no.
It's not like she's like, "Give me my fucking blue blankie," you know, so you're doing pretty good.
The other day I was and like I told you guys, sometimes when it's fucking too cold out, I work in my room on the desk, and I'm in there, and I can't, something happened on my computer, and I go, "What the fuck?" They were like 2 rooms are in the bathroom away, and asked Carol, "Why'd Dad say what the fuck?"
So, and that,
you know, I didn't say. I said what the buck or whatever, however you do it. You know.
Yeah, and there's no lying your way out of it. They know what you just said. They don't know what fuck means, but they're gonna drop it eventually, sooner than later.
We started on that bartending thing. This is ADD kicking in, but we did start. Mitch and I, and the one thing that when we wrote that down earlier, we wanted to talk about like. Things that'll annoy you when you're bartending, and that's plenty. Like I do enjoy bartending. I wish that I think it'd be so fun to go bartend a real big party place. No, I mean it wouldn't because there'd be twice as many annoying people. And I don't mind it. Like if my friends come in and they want to be a pain in the ass and they need a Caesar or they need this, I don't give a shit.
Depends on the time of night.
It does. Well, and
if they're your real friends, they'll know. Like. You know, there's, way too many people in the bar.
It's 10:30 at night, and there's 65 people in the bar. One bartender, "Can I get a margarita?"
But even if they do, and they're that hungover, that like I'll get it.
Oh yeah, if it's
but when you're an asshole
11
to me all the time,
in the morning,
you say please and thank you to me at the bar.
Yeah.
And if you don't, if you're a prick that waves your shit around at me, and then I come to fucking help you, and you don't know what you want.
Oh. Like, wait. And
then they go, "Oh, wait, give me a Caesar." And I go, "Okay." And I go,
"Hey, what do you want?"
I go whip it up.
You want?
I go whip it up, give it to him. Then the next person goes, "Oh, that looks good. Let me get one." And you go, "Okay, that's fine." And then that non-tipping motherfucker orders everybody on that side of the bar a drink, which is like a $50 round. And then you go back and you're like, "All right, $57.50." They count you out fucking quarters. And you go, "Yeah, good luck getting your next one."
Okay.
You know what? Like, Mitch has been there. He bartended a bit, but
yeah, people are just fucking piece of shit.
all people are assholes. That's why I literally
it's
work at a
entitlement
cave.
is what it is. And
like when I'm at the bar, I'm down there and I'm social drinking, but I'm going to be down there and I'm probably going to want to get fucked up. And how am I going to get fucked up? I'm going to take care of bartender, so my bartender keeps coming back to me and serving me and my friends so I can get fucked up.
And I understand some people don't go to the bar all the time; they don't get it. But when you don't, just come on, like don't demand my attention before.
Yeah, well, and that
you
and
know
that's
what you
the-
want, or you get you and they go, "What's good?" And I tell you what's good, and you go, "Nah, no." Well, I'm not here to be the librarian to recommend the next
you know
Harry
what's-
Potter book.
I don't
You know
have
what's-
all day to stand here either.
You know what's good, motherfucker?
I do if
the
it's slow.
beer you usually
Oh yeah,
drink.
if it's slow, that's
If it's
a
slow,
completely
I'm okay
different.
with it. Unless you're somebody I can't stand anyway. But like, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like these ladies that will come in, like they never come down to the bar. It's like been 4 months till they come to the bar, and like, oh, we just decided to come down and have drinks after work, and like, oh, let's try this, and they pitter patter around, and then you get a good group in, like. People that are at the bar,
That
like
know how to pay and know how to fucking do it.
exactly, and then like, oh well, like you said, like, let's get a Caesar and then let's get a margarita. I was like, well, we're not really equipped to fucking dish that shit out on demand.
And we could be if we were a margarita bar, but we're not. Like we're not. You came to a dive bar. Come
Does
to a
this
dive bar and order your
look
fucking
like
whiskey.
Margaritaville?
Yeah,
And don't get me wrong. There's plenty of times I make a fucking glorious drink for people. But you got to be being nice to me first. You don't get to come in the bar and kick your shit around like you fucking own me when you don't even come in here once every 6 months.
yeah.
You don't get to come in and be a prick to me because you think bartending is a low life job. Well, fuck you. I'm making $40 an hour. Kiss my nuts. I made more than you did today. And there's a reason I'm back here running my ass off. It's partially because I enjoy it. And because there's not many people that can actually handle it for real, like
I couldn't do
Like,
it. I'd lose my fucking shit.
People yelling at you like, hey, I need this, like, oh, well, and then you got to remember everybody's drinks, and then the bar I worked at, I had to make food as well.
I don't
I've
think-
worked at
and
that
also
I don't think I ever yelled at any guys, so I'm doing good.
food and when I worked
you
there,
did start a fight one time, but
when I worked there,
Yeah.
and there's nothing against it, and they're doing a good job with what they're doing. But when I worked there, and it's still the food play, like to go make food, you had to be in a separate room that you couldn't see your bar.
exactly.
And we had 2 different casinos, so you had to watch the 2
Yeah.
casinos and the bar.
Yeah.
And if you were real busy,
And then
if you
people
were like slam busy and somebody ordered steak fingers, and you had to go make steak fingers and be hidden from your bar, and then you
Yeah.
hear a bar stool drop.
and those aren't ready
like,
to be
"That's my
immediately
fault."
dropped into the fryer.
No, those
you
would
had to
shake
bread
'em.
them yourself, which they are the best steak fingers in town,
Hands down.
Yeah. But
But
you
you
had to
gotta
bread
cook.
them yourself, but like people like,
And
hey,
I'm-
I need food right now.
Everybody knows who we're talking about this local, and I'm not talking crap by any means.
Yeah, exactly.
I do
Me
enjoy them,
neither.
and I did enjoy it, but I'm just saying
It's
in my
hard,
bartender's
it's
shoe
hard
how
on a
hard it
bartender.
was.
And then you got people coming from the casino, like they're cashing out, like they've been standing there for 5 minutes.
you
but
never
the-
wanna
but there's
leave your
60
casino
people
sitting
in the bar.
You never want to leave your casino sitting because that's
they-
where your good money could come from.
Exactly.
Is a tipper.
Yeah.
And as the bar's crazy, and it's better now. It's way better now.
Oh yeah, because the
one and
casino's
the other.
one room.
And I get that. And where I've learned a little bit is my old man and his girlfriend, they run the Blue Cat in Huntley. And it's pretty similar to the way the Mint is. A little classier, but they serve food. And it's like they still got a long run bar, the same kind of way the Mint does. But back in the back, they got a grill, and they do serve food. They serve food from 8 in the morning till
Oh, it's like Dad's in Wolf Point.
1 at night. But,
Ooh, that's
but
bar.
they keep a cook on hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
That's the way. Yeah.
You can't, and I get like if you're a real super slow bar, you can have a cook and a bartender at the same time. But if you're planning on having a busy Friday or Saturday night, you need a cook and a bartender if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And not so much the Mint. The Mint, I could throw in a pizza and keep it going or whatever. But
Yeah,
we're not trying
all
to
you're
fucking
doing
make
is
prime
cooking,
rib.
yeah.
So, and I do enjoy a bar that I can go get some good food at.
Yeah.
As a patron.
and it is good food at the bar.
But I don't want to go fucking tax my bartender, who's the one guy serving everybody, to go, hey, man, you want to spend 20 minutes making me...
It's a 3-man job because you got to do the casino, the bar, and cook the food. And, all the dumb girl shots, like...
The dumb girl shots, and that slows you down too, but that makes the bar money.
Yeah, that is what makes the bar money and yourself too. Like you could be making bunch of money on shots and tips on shots, but you're out in the back cooking, an order of fries or chicken strips or whatever, which is good bar food.
It is.
But, sometimes it's just not practical.
My boss at the Mint we've talked to, and someday we want to take a little road trip as a business trip to go see what they're doing down there, just to see that, like, how good it can be if you just keep a cook on. Because what is $10 to $12 an hour? Like, what is that if you're actually turning food out?
Yeah,
like, if you're
what's 10 to 12 bucks an hour when you're selling,
Dude, we drive by there on Sunday when we go to leave. Yeah. Normally, my dad lives a little ways out of Huntley, but we'll drive by their place as we go into Billings to go finish our shopping before we go home. And you drive by, it's fucking Sunday at 9 in the morning, and their bar's packed with people either drinking Caesars or
game, who knows?
Well, and they're eating breakfast sandwiches, but they actually have a cook that's going to serve them consistent food.
The downfall around here, though, is it's so hit and miss.
Fickle.
Dude, Huntley's is, and you get some Billings crowd, but their actual local crowd is local.
But you get a lot of people out of Billings there that are from Billings that go, Jesus Christ. Remember that one time we were out there at the Blue Cat and we fucking drove out?
Most of them are local. Most of their clientele is local. But as local as what we get at the Mint.
The problem you get, though, is so the other weekend, there were 6 people in your fucking bar.
I know.
All fucking night.
I know. I was there.
Keep a cook on staff all fucking night.
No. Those nights you end up sending them home or you do whatever. But the thing is if you had a cook on staff and people knew that, you probably wouldn't lose that extra clientele.
True.
If they knew that they could come get, you tell me the GN was slow. I mean, and there's nights they're slow, but you tell me that up until 10 they still weren't serving things.
You know what I wish we had though sometimes?
Well, it's like if Joe's opened up at like 11 o'clock till 2, or probably better till maybe
a pretty rad way to bang out a pile of DUIs.
Yeah, or maybe save some too.
Exactly. Give them a little bit of food.
What I wish we did have.
A food truck, maybe.
And
down,
I tell you what, we got those new
something.
pizzas. I cooked the shit out of pizzas lately, but it wouldn't be bad.
Maybe a food truck down at the bank on like the bigger nights. Like last weekend was Tony Bo's retirement.
The worst part is we live in such a tiny ass town, and the people that are listening that are from here know it. But we live in such a tiny-ass town, it's tough to justify too much more than what we have.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people start restaurants that are fucking glorious, and even those don't sustain.
They have good food and everything, but, you just can't do it all the time.
You hit the one cord. Shane went to throw his beer in the garbage can. There's one power cord over the middle of it, and he bricked it off it. But I feel kind of bad. I went pretty serious on this podcast. We haven't went too jokingly, and...
Sometimes we have to be adults.
Sometimes we got to be adults, Shane says. I'm glad when it's the day that Shane says we need to be adults. What do you guys think about how bad, and this ain't fucking funny either, but how bad people are to other humans and how quick they are to try and fucking find something that offends them?
Yeah, probably just stems back to social media and, how quickly opinions are out there with no consequence. And then that's what, somebody gets pissed off about,
It's okay. I'm probably one of the most offensive motherfuckers.
Me too.
And we're not going to go into the depth of the T-shirt I just hit enter on and ordered today, but Mitch saw it. And it's probably the most offensive T-shirt you would ever see a human being wearing in life.
I get it. But the way that my brain works, like if my friends can't talk crazy shit, and the biggest thing is me to go, I know you're joking. Like if we can't talk shit back, we're almost not even friends. Like if I give you shit and it offends you, you got to know that, like if I'm really meaning to offend you, you're going to know when I'm mad. You're going to know when I'm really fucking pissed. Like, there's going to be a whole difference in my demeanor.
There's
but if I say,
points.
hey, Mitch, you fat fuck, that wasn't me going, Mitch, you're like, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, yeah.
That's
well, yeah, and that goes with, like, people around here. We have thick skin because we're descendants of pioneers, Indians, mountain men, everything. We live in a pioneer considered state, you know, because we have a population density that's what is it, below 1%?
I never really thought of it like that.
1 mile,
Yeah.
1 person per
right.
square mile.
And the other thing, too, though, is especially in a small town like this, everybody knows each other, and everybody knows how we act with each other. So
I don't mean to absolutely offend. If I say something, I don't mean to offend anybody. You know, like, it's not purposeful. It's just sometimes how I feel about, you know. And if I did, like I said, most of the time it's a joke. Most of the time it is a joke.
Every now and again, I will blatantly offend somebody just because I.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you're a cunt. And that's that C word that all the women hate. But if anybody ever met Shane,
they're gonna love it now that you called me that.
If anybody ever met Shane, they knew it was used right. But fuck, we made one topic down.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What do you guys think about?
This is a shirt.
Pick up your garbage.
You're gross, Shane. That is gross.
If you guys
I don't
see
even care what
something in
Mitch
the
says. That's
parking lot,
gross.
if you see something in the parking lot, pick it up. Just pick up the garbage. Just be a nice person.
What was that? Is that your phone?
That's my phone.
It's just time to wake up.
No, I'm playing a Harry Potter game on my phone.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Mitch. If you see some shit, or if you got some shit, don't throw it on the fucking ground. It ain't that tough. Like, it really isn't that tough to walk through and see some shit sitting there and pick it up and toss it. You know, like, we all live on the same planet.
Yeah,
that's the way I feel.
I'm not a greenie
Me neither.
tree hugger,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Take care of the planet we live in, because we got to live here, and our kids got to live here.
Well, you know, it's just society in general.
You don't
like
shit where you
set an
walk.
example. If somebody else sees you pick that little piece of garbage up on your way, you're just in the parking lot, pick it up. You're hauling it all the way into Shields or whatever. Put it in the garbage.
Yeah.
It's infectious.
Put it in the
You're
recycle
fucking right.
bin, and maybe they'll recycle it, and it'll
make infectious in a good
so
way.
we can drill some more oil. I mean, fuck. Got to make this world go round.
I
And
totally
I
get
offended
it. No,
people.
I totally get it, though. But I agree there's too many people out too worried about their own and not worried about being nice enough to fucking make it good for the rest of everybody.
All right, guys.
Stop starting fights with some other lady in Walmart for some goddamn reason. Shit on you or Snapchat or YouTube, you know, like set an example.
This is Shane starting fights with ladies, and that's why he's grumbling over there. He is the guy that fights people in Walmart.
No, I fucking hate people. Like, people are assholes, and people.
That's why you have a job where you drive a fucking
one
blade
thing I've learned,
30 miles south of Malta, and nobody gets to see you all day.
And I am not a religious man, but fucking love the neighbor.
Why not?
Be a human being. Like, I hate a lot of people.
Grow
People
up.
are pieces of shit. In
People
general.
are pricks to each other. Don't go out of your. My biggest thing is don't go out of your way to be a prick to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Miranda says, pouring salt in someone else's sugar doesn't make yours any sweeter.
No, not at all.
Salt in your coffee doesn't make anybody else.
You never met
sweeter.
Miranda
Lambert?
Sounds hot.
She might have wrote that
Sounds
song or
hot,
not,
he
but
says.
she sang it. You know, pouring salt in.
Smoke your own smoke.
Yeah.
And roll your own gravy. What? No, I don't even
Roll
remember.
your own gravy? What?
Yeah,
She's Canadian, huh?
Pouring salt in someone
Dylan knows.
other's
Dylan
coffee
knows her.
doesn't make yours
But
any
you're
sweeter.
right. It does not. And like,
Happy people don't, you know,
and don't get
lie.
me wrong.
and
Sometimes
all that
going out of your way to be nice to somebody is a little tough. But not even that. But
Well-
just try to help out. Like, we're pretty tribal. The thing is, like, we live in a fucking tiny ass town.
We're technically,
And if we don't
pioneer.
support each other, and that's what I do. Like, if people always ask, well, what the fuck? You know, you live here, blah, blah, blah. I go, well, if I'm stuck to live here, I might as well make it the coolest fucking place that I can possibly live in this little tiny fucking white North Tundra that we got. We might as well fucking, Shane and I might swing our dicks to fucking put out a skate park. We might as well, put on some shows. Whether I lose my ass or not, at least my friends came out and we had a fucking hilarious time for the weekend.
Well, you don't know when you're going to get stuck out south or, you know, get stuck in your own house with, you know, 3 feet of snow or your truck's going to break down and, like, who's going to come get you, you know? Like,
But you're right.
you know,
Yeah.
well, like, tribe, like you said, it's...
The biggest thing is everybody runs on the tribe mentality, and they will forever. The problem that hurts me so bad is that our tribe mentality doesn't span across the nation the way it should. And whether we need to break up our nation into smaller fucking nations or what, like, not that it's that.
Yeah,
but
it's called states. We already did that.
No, I know, but that's so much different. Like, we need to look out for one another in our own, and not only just our nation, but we all live on this big fucking stupid rock we're flying around. And I shouldn't say stupid. This big brilliant rock. We might be the only
Joe
one.
Rogan podcast now.
We are, but we're all on the.
Yeah, we're all here together, and we have all we have is each other at this point.
What the hell happens if all of a sudden South America gets blasted with a rock, and all of our power grid's out? What happens then? What do we do?
Well, our power grid's not going to be out.
If it's a big enough rock, it sure as fuck is.
Oh well, yeah,
Wipes South America out, and then America.
Well, let's say
all that happens to us is our power grid goes out for weeks on end, maybe and then what do we do? What happens here? I guarantee you, there's so many people that become fans of just their own family, and you'll get plenty of people that'll be the guy to go, "Hey, Mitch, you okay?" But there's too many that aren't that way.
Yeah, we definitely need to still have analog types of communication because any little wire gets snipped and all cell phones are down.
I'm fluent in smoke signals.
Okay. All right. Well,
I would hope you are too, but I don't know.
We're from different tribes, so.
You were talking about you did 23andMe. What'd you find out?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I want to go into this too because this is funny as fuck. Because mine, I got fucked over. You remember me telling you I ordered the big Grandioso fucking one? Well, I ordered it off of eBay.
Oh.
They sent me the kit. It was a brand new kit. Whatever. I sent it back in. Well, the fucking hook is this guy sells them on eBay like that, and then after he sells them on eBay and you fucking do your kit and you send it in, he hears that it hits send in, and then he hits the refund button on one he'd already ordered and he sold it on eBay. So he gets the refund. He double dips. He made my money from eBay, and he gets his refund back from whatever that is, and then your kit doesn't get sent back to you.
Oh, wow.
So I got hosed. But anyway, what'd you find out?
Well, yeah, and Cassie gave this to me last year as a Christmas present, and they do great Christmas
It's cool.
gifts.
It's cool to learn.
Yeah, and
it's something I've always wanted to learn. I mean, your parents always tell you you're English, Irish, whatever. But you never know for sure unless you actually.
Know. Yeah. And well, I knew I was native, but now I know well, and it's actually gone up because more and more people they have a database.
Yep.
They don't really know for sure. They just
the more people's DNA that goes in that matches yours.
Yeah, and mine has actually gone up since last year, and I'm East Asian and Native American, so those two
Isn't
are tied together.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, they're tied together because
I mean, not to be an asshole to anybody.
They cross the land bridge.
Yeah, the land bridge and stuff like that. So those are the people that cross the land bridge going down.
That's where Mitch goes back to that history is important. I agree.
And, I'm East Asian and Native American, so I'm 13.6%, so that's pretty broad. And then they brought it to, 12 point whatever percent Native American. So it all adds up, and then now I actually have some sub-Saharan African now, and that wasn't even there a year ago.
I can tell.
You saw me showering with my
something like that. That was kind of what it was. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
the quote.
No, that'd be weird because I was your
Windtalkers.
wrestling coach, so that would be bad. I did not see you shower. Jesus Christ.
The quote off of
the next guy in Miles
Wind
City.
Talkers, like, oh, you saw me showering with my war bonnet on, didn't you? But yeah,
No, I didn't. No, I did not see Mitch shower.
85% European, so I mean,
European, I'm a peon right now.
a lot more British.
Well, and
than I
there's
thought,
other ones that different DNA tests that you can. There's one that you can take. I can't remember the company, but will actually break out that European. They have more of a database into the European countries, so they can actually Well, and that's the funny thing. I saw this meme on Facebook the other day of it goes
like the diversity one.
Well, no, Asian says white people always says Asians, but they never know what. If we're Korean, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Do you mean Irish or, Eastern?
Well, okay, when you say white people, do you mean Irish, Scandinavians?
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you mean? whatever. So
and it goes back to.
I'm not being racist by any means.
Well, yeah, and then it goes back to like like when the Romans were in Europe.
Turns out we all came from a monkey dick.
Yeah.
Before that, we all came from water.
Yep. We all crawled out of the goddamn water.
How are your wounds healing after being shot at, after being mistaken for Bigfoot?
Oh, my God. This fucking guy. I want to know what this guy looks like. So, for those of you that are listening,
we're changing topics.
Sorry, guys. I can't imagine he looks much different than Shane.
I don't know if this was Scandinavian, if this dude was Scandinavian, Asian, where the fuck he
top
come
of the head.
But so, and it's kind of fucked up.
Bald in a lot of
but this dude outside of Helena, I was reading on the news, outside of Helena, Montana. So he's out fucking looking for Bigfoot. And he's got himself a firearm, I don't know, rifle of some sort, and he's on a Bigfoot hunt. Well, he just happens
regular hunt, and he's a Bigfoot fanatic.
He just happens to be in the same place where another fella is out fucking shooting targets and shooting rabbits, whatever these guys do. And this one dude's looking for rabbits and targets and shooting his rifle. And all of a sudden, dude looking for Bigfoot sees other dude and starts shooting at him and thinks he fucking shooting at Bigfoot.
Does he yell, "You're Bigfoot"?
How does
he know? How does the other guy know that he thinks he's shooting at Bigfoot?
The other guy, I don't know what happened there, but the other guy must have been like, dude, I'm a fucking human being.
So the other guy had a rifle?
They both had rifles.
It did not shoot back?
Yeah.
If I'm in the woods and somebody shoots at me, and I yell I'm not Bigfoot and he shoots again, that fucker's getting shot back at.
Maybe this guy thinks Bigfoot has adapted. And he's like, hey, he knows how to say, like,
this guy shoots,
I'm not Bigfoot.
This guy shoots,
but
he goes,
Bigfoot.
He's Bigfoot. The other guy goes, did I just see Bigfoot?
No.
Now we got a Bigfoot standoff.
The fucking
Maybe Bigfoot knows how to work an iPhone. Maybe who knows?
Fuck Bigfoot.
Then the dude finally is like, hey, I'm a dude, not Bigfoot. So they're like,
easy
okay.
target.
But we
Bigfoot
better report this. So one of them calls
Correct.
the fucking sheriff's office, not the same day, but the next day, and was like, hey.
Talked about it.
This
You're
fucking jackwagon shot at me.
I was, no.
Mom, I'm pretty sure I saw a Bigfoot.
The guy that was getting...
You tell him, honey.
No, fuck you. The guy that was getting shot at didn't even call the police. The fucking dude that was shooting at dude was like, hey.
Not worried.
911? I totally fucking shot at Bigfoot, but it wasn't Bigfoot. It was another dude bouncing around in the forest with a fucking rifle, target shooting. And I just want to let you know that I shot. Well, what was his name?
I don't know.
But
I didn't ask Bigfoot's name.
He drove a black SUV.
You know what 911 did? They went, don't do meth.
And then, so they get with the other dude and was like, so... Squatcher over here.
Squatcher.
He was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure some guy thought it was Bigfoot.
Squatcher over here was shooting at you. He said, oh, yeah, he totally thought it was Bigfoot. Well, would you like to press charges? And this dude goes, no. Like,
I'm used to it. I'm a naturalist.
So what the fuck does this guy look like?
Not the first time we've been shot at being Bigfoot.
What does this guy look like where people are like, this fucking
He looks a lot
Bigfoot.
like Shane Carnahan. I've seen the picture.
Maybe the guy on Trailer Park Boys that Sam.
I don't know. It's pretty good, though. But do you want to press charges? Nah. It's honest mistake.
His head was in the right
fuck?
place.
That's definitely a Montana story. Like,
Yeah, that's about as Montana as you can get.
it's a.
We're a pretty, wild country. So I mean, what's the show? Finding Bigfoot, and then of course they throw dots on the map like the most Bigfoot sightings. Well, obviously, they're gonna follow the Rocky Mountains.
Well, you see, this is a fucking Joe Rogan quote too, but that Gigantopithecus was a big ass fucking animal that looks just like, it's a big fucking ape, 9 foot tall, looks just like what Bigfoot is, literally like what Bigfoot is. And they said it was a fairly intelligent animal, like it lived 10 whatever plus thousand years ago. I don't myself think that it's still out there, but I think that how come you are born and you wake up afraid of snakes and you never seen one? It's fucking ingrained in your DNA. You've probably seen a big ass fucking ape
like the cats.
eat your family one time.
Because when you're born,
cats.
everything you've ever seen walked on 2 legs or 4 legs, and some slithering, filthy fucking serpent comes fucking squeezing up.
Well,
next
yeah,
to you.
doesn't even
it's
matter
just
that, but
ingrained in your
you're-
DNA, like the cats on the
How come you have
internet videos. Those cats have been inside their entire life, and then you put a cucumber right next to them, and they jump out and freak out. So, I mean,
It
it's
gets
survival
ingrained-
instincts.
There's a lot that
That's
gets
why they
ingrained
sit
in
in
your DNA, and we
boxes.
don't know enough. I mean, like let's look fucking 300 years down the road. Of like you said, we're doing DNA tests of just to figure out who the fuck we are. 300 years down the road, you're probably gonna do a DNA test and go like, oh, Shane's grandpa jumped off a cliff. No wonder why he's afraid of heights. You know, or I mean,
Yeah, right.
it's ingrained in your fucking DNA of some sort of one way or another, and we don't realize that your DNA may train itself to.
And that's why humans can see in color. And why we have hands, like we could reach out and grab the right fruit. That's why we can see in color and dogs can't. We could see that the fruit were ripe and we could reach out and grab it.
Well, I just watched the thing last night. The way that some hunters kill monkeys is they hollow out a fucking coconut or put a hole in a coconut just big enough for their fist, and then put the fruit in there. And the monkey can stick his hand through the coconut with his hand open. But it'll grab the coconut, and it's so goddamn greedy
But
that it will
can't
not let go of the.
go.
It will not let go of that fruit, and then poor monkey's dead. But
What do you do
we
with
evolve.
What do you do with a monkey?
They may eat them somewhere. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I've never had a monkey. Train them
to be insensitive.
Train them to run a scraper or a fucking blade.
You can do that.
I'm kidding.
Better than some kids these days.
Yeah. It's weird. I think we're gonna learn, and we're gonna learn it. Part of it in our lifetime. The older we get, though, could you imagine being the old people that are in the retirement center right now that didn't see the internet, that had the wives' tales that you knew growing up, like that your mom taught you. If let's say you're 90 years old right now, the wives' tales you grew up knowing that have probably been crushed by the internet, and somebody like your grandson comes and tells you and says, "Hey, grandma, that's not right," or even mom, "Hey, that's false." The shit that you believed growing up, could you imagine, like 2 generations back? Imagine the shit they knew.
Well, yeah, that's just the propaganda and like the shit that false news these days.
Like
even,
the Montarctica podcast. No, just kidding.
What a joke. Well, Travis.
I know Shane's got to leave soon, but Shane,
Yeah.
what do you think about hemp becoming legally grown in Montana?
As long it's a good deal. If it's
Ibity, that's all, folks.
well, no, it's a great deal because it's such a diverse plant. The issue is I haven't read enough right now on because they did say it's legal. We can farm it. We can do this. If they've gone as far as it's legal federal wise, because of course statewide it's legal, but federal. It might not be, and then you start getting fucking bent over the barrel by the feds.
You know why it actually became illegal in the first fucking place?
Oh, back in the
The one
early
fucking
1900s.
dude,
The one dude.
William Randolph Hearst.
The monkeys.
William Randolph Hearst had a control over all the fucking newspapers. So in other words, he had the media. That was the media.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's
and he had such a fucking hand in the paper industry that if hemp comes out, they're going to take over all the fucking. There goes all his money.
It's such a diverse plant.
right, but
and he puts out all this fucking propaganda against it, and it's been fucking illegal since. And that's
but it worked for
the
him.
biggest bullshit ever. And I'm not even saying
It worked for him.
Nobody gets high off of hemp. Hemp is not a fucking
No.
plant you get high off of. Hemp is a plant that you can literally add to your concrete, double it in size. And I may be blowing out my ass. This might not be quite, but you do. You can add hemp to concrete, and it's fucking twice as strong too.
But
That's one of the little things that it could. I mean, it can
here's
be a
the
protein
thing.
powder. It can be a fucking textile. It can be a.
that guy,
It's a diverse
It's
crop.
that guy,
crazy to not
but
use it.
Here's the thing: it worked for that guy. He pulled it off. He made it work, and it's just like video.
Well, trees grow in 10 years. Hemp grows in 3 months.
It's just like video. It killed the radio star, and he killed the hemp star.
He killed him.
Well,
Sorry,
like,
he did.
you know,
but he was a prick.
If Tom Hanks, when he was on what movie is that?
Castaway?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know where you're going with this one.
He
but-
needed to make rope, Like, he had to cut down all these trees and stuff like that. We haven't made rope in 3 years. Like, well, if he had a bunch of hemp, hemp makes amazing rope.
Mm-hmm. It's not only that. It makes a ton of stuff. And, like...
Licorice makes good rope, too.
The thing is if you... could you imagine if the fucking 70 years of not having it in our system of America, if the 70 years we actually had technology evolving that crop, what it would be doing right now?
Oh, yeah. No, people would be bitching still.
Well, I mean, like, they showed those ones,
they'd
like...
be on, hemp was a good plant, but now we got all these GMOs in our plants, and it's just causing our rope to taste like shit, and it ain't fucking working.
People usually don't talk like that are actually the ones that are...
That's a negative stereotype.
Yeah, it's very... No, I'm just kidding.
Who's that guy we listened to today and yesterday?
You?
No.
Harry Johnson?
The guy that repeats himself.
You?
The fucking
Got
farm
him.
view report. Fuck you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You?
The fucking farm view report.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Sorry, I didn't listen for me.
He's a repeater.
What, Mitch, earlier you made me write down Marslander. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, that was Shane's.
That was me.
Larry, what's up with the Marslander?
Do you not watch the news?
Well,
Do you
they
not read
did
newspaper?
give us some great pictures.
No, I don't
from
have
Mars
regular
that
fucking
actually
TV anymore.
look better than my goddamn cell phone.
Yeah, so
Earth rising. Like this is the first picture.
Some people
of Earth.
that were almost as smart as us was like, "Hey, we're gonna send this fucking lander to the moon or to Mars,"
You know, we should
Yeah,
start a
it
podcast.
just got there. Yeah,
and it
we
just
did.
got there like a week and a half ago, and touched down, and it's sending some pretty dope pictures.
Is it sent from our government or is it a private?
It's a NASA deal. NASA isn't a federal government
No,
organization.
NASA's federally funded.
They're federally funded.
That's all they're funded. They're federally funded. Like, is it NASA or is it a private deal that?
It was
It's
NASA.
NASA.
I don't know.
So it's better than the Mars rover. I haven't seen it.
I don't think a private deal would be able to make it to Mars.
Have you met Elon Musk? Yeah, me neither.
No,
Fuck that guy.
he's like, he's got a lot more hair than what I saw on the internet than he did when he made his fortune back when we were talking about the early days of computers. Good for him. No, don't.
Yep. No, I agree.
Don't get me wrong.
No, this Mars rover though, or this Mars lander deal, it's pretty fucking cool. Because of course the last thing that landed on Mars, I think it got a picture and a half out and then crappered out on us, and it's just
Well, the rover went around and got a bunch of shit, didn't it?
yeah. But it
I'm blowing out my ass. I don't know. I
can't-
think I've seen quite a few. I thought you used to be able to pull up the Mars rover and look around a little bit on the internet if you wanted and
No,
maybe see some shit, but maybe I'm wrong.
But this lander deal that they just stuck on there is like, HD. Everything's fucking.
Do you guys think in our lifetime
Oh, in our lifetime, yes.
that we'll have somebody on Mars?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
How come we're not going back to the moon?
I don't know. Why there ain't shit there?
That's a good point.
Tell me there's not. They drill it yet? They don't know.
It's made of cheese, dude. I saw it on a
Well,
TV
who wouldn't want a
commercial.
giant piece of cheese? That shit's expensive. You ever shopped at Albertsons?
Right?
That's better than gold. I don't.
Two things.
Apparently, we're a resort town. So.
Two things our friend.
Apparently, we're a resort town.
Two things our friend Tim knows.
Yes.
Cheese is expensive, and
You're right.
everybody
Thanks, Tim.
loves it.
But no, I'm curious. Do you think that we'll land somebody on Mars? Do you think we'll have a Mars colony?
I don't think we won't have a colony in our lifetime.
We'll have Space
no.
Force.
Don't we already?
We won't have a colony in our lifetime, but they'll do, and even with the moon, they'll do more research. They'll start core drilling, core sampling.
Well,
But
Matt
the-
Damon was already been there for a long time.
That
Poor
fucking guy.
fucker.
That's actually a pretty funny movie. The jokes he makes.
It's a great movie.
Space
I think.
Pirate.
I think it's a great movie.
I think it's the time getting there. I don't know how long. I don't know when they launched the rover.
Practical time to getting there.
I don't know when they launched the rover. I just picked up that they landed a rover and or a lander, and they got pictures, and it's doing this and that. They haven't found Optimus Prime, but there's some cool shit going on up there. I know that.
Do you think there's life out there?
Oh,
maybe not
fuck.
Mars. Not Mars, but
there's got to be, dude. It's a fucking universe.
Statistically, what they say, and then also,
as far as I'm concerned, we're a simulation.
Oh yeah,
No,
the Matrix.
I don't know that either,
you know?
but I don't know.
No, seriously, you think of it, billions and billions of stars, and
You almost have to.
in all these
Wouldn't you
universe. Do they look like us? Do they talk
Probably
like
not
us?
even close.
No.
They they might not even be carbon-based life forms.
Have you
They
guys
could be
seen-
based
Are they even
off,
remotely as smart of us? Maybe we're the smartest motherfuckers.
Yeah,
on,
that's
in the universe.
yeah.
You know,
But if we are, how fucking sad is that? Because we're barely around, you know? Like, I mean, not.
Yeah, well,
you're
like-
right. To toot my own horn, I
Well,
agree. I probably am the smartest in the universe.
The
But
way it's
Did that-
as long the Earth has been lasted, like
did that
we're-
bang? Did that bang just go bang, and all of a sudden we're here? Or did it go bang, and everything
Yeah, but
was there?
You look up, and every one of those lights in the sky is a star.
See that moon?
Not only.
is that a
that's
donkey?
fucking funny.
Shrek and donkey reference there?
No, it's a real Shannon Travis
It's a
reference.
real story. We're
Yeah.
not going into it right now.
But the weird thing is like, you got guys like Stephen Hawking before he died going, we could be a simulation.
Yeah.
As easy as a video game is programmed, we could be a simulation. If that's so, let's say video games came out 1980, whatever was the first Pong game. We've made it 40 years since then, and look how good they are now. What if the civilization ahead of us made it 400 years? How good would they be?
Well, yeah, and then they go through the.
What if they
history.
did make it 400 years and got fucked and started over?
It means there's
Well,
still some fucked up programmer that programs a Shane
looking
Carnahan
at
into
Easter
the fucking
Island and
You know?
they're looking at Easter Island and Stonehenge and all that shit, and then like they go into the history of Egypt,
It's creepy.
that was like 5,000 years,
History
They
of
go, like,
Egypt. A lot of that stuff they're claiming is actually is deeper than what
yeah,
Egyptologists
think
say
about
it is.
pre-Egypt.
They're saying like 12,000 years further, if not maybe further than like go back like
all of the
find
Roman
that.
Empire, all of all of Europe and all that shit put together. That's still a fraction, how long Egypt has been around.
Yeah, well, and we still have no idea why.
Yeah,
It's not a goddamn tomb. Whatever they fucking, it's not somebody's grave.
or we could go by Rick and Morty. Like, oh, Morty's like, oh, there's bugs in space. Like, yeah, Morty. What do you think? Life started on Earth by accident? It's just
it's
who the fuck knows?
none of us know, and that's the creepy thing. Like I don't think we'll ever like us. At the max. Like my mom's next door neighbor that I grew up with is the oldest person in our town right now, and she's 103. I want to say.
We're in a pioneer state.
Well, and
Less than one person per square mile.
so if I make it to 100, I'm at 36% there right now, and that's not very far. And I get that maybe we might learn some more, but it's creepy as fuck to think about. Like that's the kind of shit that I lay in bed at night. Like, I mean, there's scientists messing with nanoparticles, knowing that those could be the strongest thing you ever had, and you can pull it off the graphite of a pencil, like graphene. But yet then we're as expansive as what our universe could be, and we don't know shit.
Oh yeah, and then
We're still arguing whether we landed on the moon or not, and we don't know shit. But yet we're spending all this fucking money just to make sure we get the next drop of oil.
I believe we did go to the moon.
They
But
say it would be harder to fake it than it would be to actually.
well, back
Did
in
it,
the day
but-
too. I mean, they say there's more.
Well, I told you earlier in the podcast, I argued both sides, so I'll win either way if we want to argue it. But yeah,
And then we live in a place where we'd go out in high school drinking a bunch of beers with a bunch of buddies. It's time to pee, and there's no lights for
You go stare at
30
the
miles.
sky.
Yeah, you're peeing, and then you just stare up and just like, oh, Yeah, that's.
I thought you said you were East Asian, not European. No. I've done that outside of the podcast. There's a couple nights that we there was one night on, I don't remember what podcast it was. No, we were in the middle of we did a podcast in the middle of a meteor shower, and we all went outside, and it was literally dumping meteors that night, and we all came back into the podcast, and we're all just in awe, and like we're going, you guys should see this out there. Nobody had a clue because it's on the podcast, but it was one of those nights, and you go like, so what are those United States sized rocks flying through the air? Is that a fucking Phillips County sized rock?
How comes is it you never hear about a meteor shower hitting the city?
Because most of them burn up once they hit our atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
And that's why part of the argument is that people they say they don't make it out of the atmosphere. Some people say you'd burn out before you got there. But
and when they're just the size of a keychain when they get to the ground.
Have you guys watched that TV show, The Orville? Seth MacFarlane that does Family Guy and whatnot?
Nope.
Do you got Hulu?
Yes.
Go home and look up The Orville. It's fucking awesome. It's Seth MacFarlane, and he's actually in it. He actually acts in it. And it's kind of like, and I hate to say it's Star Trek because Star Trek doesn't.
Oh, that one. Okay,
Dude,
I know the one you're talking about.
Dude, I'm telling you, the issues
so
that I know, but the issues that they drill in that thing with these other, so they're out there on this they're like, let's say the UN. You know how we're paired with all these other countries. They're that, only they're space. So they're paired with all these other races and everything else that they've bet. And the fucking issues that come up with these other races.
Parallel.
Like one of them's like.
The parallel.
It's awesome. Like there's one that's like, well, we only have males on our planet. And she's going to be born a female. She will be a male by the time that, and they're like, we cannot let you mutilate this baby. And it's Seth MacFarlane funny, so.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, go.
I don't ever get to watch this stuff. I have a child.
I do too. Same.
And I go to sleep when my child goes to sleep.
Same.
And I have neither of those things, but I don't have TV.
And I don't even have a TV. Like
Hulu it on your phone.
All of a sudden, people are like,
I do have Hulu, though.
People are like, well,
look it up on Hulu, then. That's where it's at.
People
and
are like, why don't
the
you
new
watch...
season's coming out soon, and it's fucking excellent.
But I get why don't you watch it in your room? Who the fuck has a TV in their room?
I got a TV in my room.
TV's only for two things.
I got a TV in my room. And you know what the
for only two things.
No, you know what the TV in my room is for?
Sleeping and masturbating.
Listen, you know what the TV in my room is for?
In secret.
is for when my daughter comes traipsing in there earlier than she should wake up.
No.
And you can go,
no.
watch this, I'm going back to bed. It's not
really. My room's for
Bedroom's only for two things.
Rarely do we ever, Carol and I watch.
3 things.
Well, maybe 3 things when you midnight snack.
Yeah, no.
Shane's is sleep, snoring, and pissing the bed. That's his 3 things.
You don't even take
we're going to fucking micromanage this.
Food doesn't even go in a bedroom. You fucking sleep in there, you make love in there, and you read your fucking books in there.
Oh, that's fair. I'll give it a third.
Fucking TVs.
No TVs in the bedroom.
I'm telling you, ours is in our bed because.
I mean,
no TVs in the bedroom.
I might pull out.
You just said you didn't have a TV, so that's your fault.
I might pull out the.
I don't have cable.
Might pull out the
I haven't had cable since 2009.
Me neither.
Might pull out the 34-incher and watch a little.
That's the year
porn,
I graduated.
I might pull out the 34-incher and make a little love. But
to yourself.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
The kidding. Neighbors are watching.
The neighbors definitely hear this podcast.
Well,
have you ever been caught? Have you ever been caught making love? Not like by somebody that actually embarrassed you. Not like you or I walked in on each other, because that's different. But
I don't think in high school
Shane's definitely
either.
Seen me having sex.
Caught like in high school having sex?
That's not making
high
love
school
either.
Or caught with like my wife by like a child? What?
No, I don't know. I guess
you wouldn't believe how fast you can move though as an adult, and you're like.
Have you ever been caught having sex and you were embarrassed by it?
No. Well,
I can't.
Yes.
Oh, it depends on the girl then.
Yes.
Well, you did spend a lot of time in Haver,
right.
so
I don't think I ever have been caught that I was actually embarrassed by it. I think I've been caught before and been like, yeah, well, but That's speaking for myself.
Wash your hands. Wow, this went south.
So you're saying I can't air this podcast?
This went south really fucking fast.
It did go south. Well, it was
No,
your
but
fault.
you know
said
what is
making
funny,
love in the
though?
Yeah,
bedroom.
speaking of Mars.
You know what is funny though? So it's amazing how fast, like all of a sudden, kids sleeping, you're in your room, wife, girlfriend, whatever.
Think you got a chance.
You're really, I mean, you got the opportunity. So clothes are coming off, and
Yep.
it's getting hot and steaming really fast, and all of a sudden,
You better hurry up and do this.
all of a sudden, you're kind of covered, but not fully covered, and you hear, "Dad, poof, poof." Into your fucking
Sleeping.
laying position.
The stance.
What do you want? What do you want? What are you doing? I'm fucking sleeping.
Get out of my bed.
or the
Fuck off, boy.
the kid's sleeping. Or the kid's sleeping, and all of a sudden things start getting vocal. You know, Mama's kind of giving the.
I need to.
And all of a sudden the son goes, "I'll save you, Mom." Fuck.
I've never been that far along. What just unplugged? Something unplugged.
I
think Shane got excited and yanked something out.
Anyway,
Anyway,
last times we got interrupted.
our bed, my bed's, I wouldn't say it's old by any means or anything like that, but I should definitely get under there and squirt some fucking lube on it, because even when I'm trying to be quiet,
You can spend 10 fucking grand on a bed. Shit, you could even have just a mattress on the floor, and that motherfucker's gonna squeak.
Loud.
Like, you literally just a box frame and a mattress on the floor, and your neighbor's gonna hear it going, eek, 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 eek. Like, there's no
sound that makes a rhythm like that.
Yeah, there's not even a bolt, a screw, a rivet, nothing in that bed. But something's squeaking, and somebody's gonna hear it.
At your age, that's your hip.
Fuck you.
Are yours off? Or you?
No.
I don't know what happened,
You're
but
both really loud.
so Mitch's are
Everything's
loud.
really
Shane pulled
No,
our
I'm
headphones. I
coming
think.
through loud.
And clear.
I'm not even sure what happened. There it is. Did you get him back, Shane?
Well, I've had them. It just got really loud. Like
It
you
got
cranked up the
louder.
volume.
I know. Well,
Everybody's loud.
it was me. Shane fucking got all excited and yanked my headphones out. Is what happened. I think.
Yeah.
At least it was my headphones.
We're balanced now.
We're balanced. We got a nice. I heard Mitch hit that tank over there. Whatever he just did. So, before you had kids, did you? I mean, you kind of had an idea what kids would be like, but until you have kids, you don't really.
Oh no, you have no clue. It's like, oh, we're gonna have a kid. Oh yeah, it's simple. I can do that.
I love kids.
I grew a flower for a week.
I love kids. I had dogs.
Not even remotely close.
Oh, we're going to dogs.
I had dogs. These are my children.
That's the fucking worst. Like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I got a birthday party from a kid. Oh, I didn't know you had kids. Well, I got my dog. That's not a fucking kid.
And
It's a fucking dog.
I got one of the greatest
Like,
dogs on
Cowboys-
the planet. I can't even argue.
Cowboys have dogs, and their dog gets a broken leg, and they're like, well, better put a bullet in old fucking Blue and get a new
those
dog.
dogs are worth a shit. Those dogs will
Those
listen
smart
to
as shit.
everything.
Yeah.
They listen to everything. They know which way to go, which way to round those cows out.
But here's what kills me about
and they work 4 or
here's
5
what
years
kills me
on that
about
one
people
dog.
who are like,
Those are my kids. I
my
got
kids, my dogs, and my kids. Well, do your kids die at fucking 12 years old? Because that's what your dog's gonna do. And then you're gonna fucking sad sack around over a goddamn dog. I get it. Dogs
It's
are
like anti-vax moms.
They're super sentimental and super cool for families to have.
I love my dog. My dog is family. Like my Sprout, my one dog, like our good dog, is literally
If you start,
but she's not even like.
If you start treating that dog as if it is a true child, when that dog does finally fucking shit the bed at 12, 14 years old, now what? Now are you gonna have a fucking funeral for your dog? Are you gonna take days off of work for a goddamn dog?
Well, I hope you don't take days off. I mean, I get that.
But people do that.
No, I understand getting attached to a dog. I 100% understand getting attached to a dog. But I also am, on the other hand, I have kids.
Can your dog pick up the phone and be like,
No, but
I'm gonna FaceTime my dad because he's he's out working, but I want to talk to him really bad.
My kids are like I said.
You know what? I'm convinced your dog hates you until you come home and feed her.
My point is that, like, you have couples that go, "Oh, these are our kids. These are our two dogs. These are our kids." I go, "You got no clue what it's like. You can't. No. Can you leave your kids at home alone?"
That's the other thing. You don't even know what true love is.
Without getting a babysitter. So my dog, I can go ahead and leave her at home alone, feed her, water her. I can leave her there throughout the day. Can I leave my fucking 2-year-old there throughout the day? No, I don't even want to leave my 11-year-old there throughout the day.
And you can love a dog. Like, dogs are cool. Cats are gay. I shouldn't say that because I actually got some gay friends. Cats are just fucking stupid. But you can love an animal.
Dogs are people.
But there's nothing. No.
You guys should
fuck
fight.
You. Because there's nothing like, okay, I got a dog, yay. Now you got a fucking child.
Some dogs are people. Like
there's nothing like having a child. I've owned a dog, and I've owned a kid. I've owned a dog, and I have a kid. And the dog, if it got ran over by a car, I'm like, oh, fuck. Son of a bitch ran over my car or my dog. I better go fucking slap him in the mouth. Now, kid gets run over by a car. You're going to be pretty fucking upset. But not, yeah.
I agree. You know, obviously, there's a difference.
But for you to say, my dogs are my babies, they get...
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with...
Fuck you.
Everybody came together with PETA coming out with don't say kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I missed all of it.
I saw that, too. Yeah,
explain to me.
PETA's getting PETA.
They said, don't beat a dead horse, don't feed a fed horse, and there's
don't kill two birds with one stone.
We just can't say them anymore.
No, now you're supposed to change it to.
That's PC now.
Now you're supposed to change it to.
Of course it is.
I don't know what the fuck.
Can you not know, like, right from wrong?
And even the vegans came out.
Can you say? I know, but I get it. Like, I can say some shit.
Oh, yeah.
And still know right from wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Can we not just still say some shit? What happened to the Second fucking Amendment? Can I not still say some shit and still know?
That's the first, second.
Second Amendment guns. I want to shoot the people that don't let me talk right. But no, if I can't come out and say some shit and still know right from wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's
I know,
the thing.
like, I'm not gonna go out if
it's common sense.
But that's the thing.
If I come and harass the shit out of you, Mitch, yeah, rightfully so, punch me in the mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But
Old West
for
rules.
God's sake,
Wild West.
Let's quit taking the fucking meaning into something that we.
Yeah. Now it's Christmas time. Let's go to the fucking Baby's cold outside. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Can we stop fucking
all these people that are saying that's offensive, they live in California and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not cold outside.
Eventually we have no tradition.
You do know what's offensive about that song with people.
No, I get it. Yeah, Key and Peele did a really good job about making fun of that. Like
what's in my drink.
But the different and then I seen an older person
pressures to stay over and all that stuff.
I know, but then I seen a person that was older explain it, and they said, so like, say you're at the bar and you're hitting on a girl, and she's actually not really drunk, but she wants to go home with you. But back in the day, you couldn't be promiscuous because that was looked down upon.
Mm-hmm.
So her saying was like, she'd nudge you, go, "Oh, what is in this drink, Mr. Mitchell?" Turns out it really wasn't that alcoholic, but that was actually the saying back in the day for a woman that wanted to be semi-promiscuous. She wasn't. It wasn't because she was drunk. She was going, "Oh, she actually liked you." What the fuck? Why can't we have men and women like each other the way that we actually primally like each other?
Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, there's a reason.
Whoa. Pump the brakes.
There's a reason our fucking penises get hard.
Pump the brakes. Do you mean there's men and women?
And Z and Z and
two genders? That's what we're going with?
I identify as a male.
Okay, I'm just double checking.
Oh, yeah, and they're pushing for a non-gender specific Santa Claus now.
I've seen that too.
Like Mrs. Claus?
No, there is no.
Well,
more.
I'd be pushing
people
on her,
people
too.
letting their children decide which gender they should be. Not letting nature, whether they came with a penis or a vagina,
Well, the thing
decide
is,
what they
like,
should be.
sure, let them decide what they want to be, but
Like a fireman or a fucking blade operator. Not a goddamn male or female. If you got a dick or you got a... Never mind. Oh, you get me fired up.
You
now.
know...
'Cause-
there's,
And if you don't, I mean...
you know, like...
Even if you got a wiener and you like another wiener,
Dude, hey...
you're still a man.
Dude, if
exactly.
two dudes want to fucking rub wieners,
Perfectly.
or two chicks want to smash clams,
Let them.
good for them.
No problems.
Good for you. You're happy. You're happy where you're at, and it's not fucking affecting.
But you're
me
still a man
at
and
all.
a woman, and
Correct. Now, yeah, I've seen some men that maybe prettier than some women out there, and I've seen some women that may be manlier than most men out there.
That's
but
for
they're
damn sure.
still men and they're still women, and they still, one stands up to pee unless they're drunk. Sometimes they sit down, and the other one sits down to pee. But
Well-
you know what? Why the fuck do we have to argue
why
about?
do we have to make such an issue over it? Whether you want to, like, whatever it is that turns you on sexually,
I don't know.
go do it. But,
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't get so goddamn offended whether somebody wants to tease you about what you are or aren't. And if that's your case, for fuck's sakes, grow some thick skin.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all got made fun of for a lot less.
Oh, fuck it
I
ain't.
got made fun of for being left-handed, so...
Oh, that
I'm
is
fucking
weird.
5 foot nothing in ginger. Tell me I ain't been fucking
Well,
made
yeah,
fun of.
no
Like,
shit. Well,
I
you know,
can't
it's
read a book.
it's all just.
But
about
and I
getting
get other people have it hardships.
skin.
Other people have hardships way worse than we do.
Yeah,
But for fuck's
it's all
sakes,
hate,
come
right?
on! It's like people look for a reason to bitch these days. And why?
yeah, there's a lot of hateful people out there, but that's not the majority of things.
Shouldn't
No,
be.
it should not be.
Can we put them on an island?
Because they haven't.
Because I
found-
sure as hell don't want to change Santa Claus.
'cause they haven't found Jesus.
No,
guys.
yeah, because. But
He or she.
but you know, I saw someone on the internet like, oh yeah, let's change Santa Claus because it's a fictional character based off a real man. You know, it's just, you know, yeah, let's just let things be.
We're
Every
in
now
a
and
weird
then.
place. We are in a weird
We
place.
are in
And
a weird
it's gonna
place.
get weirder for a while. I think it's definitely gonna get weirder, and who knows what's.
Hopefully, it'll balance out before it becomes a real problem.
I mean,
It's
what
getting bad because people are getting too ridiculous.
what I want to know is like, so you're telling me my old lady, like, say she's out there, she comes into the room wearing something that turns me on.
Yeah.
You're telling me my primal instinct of not wanting to go make love shouldn't be there? Like what? Like,
No,
Maybe.
well,
Well,
that's the
maybe-
double standard
Here's what
that's
here's
being
what we're telling
created.
you. Here's what we're telling you, Travis.
here's what
is-
you're part of the.
Well, here's what they're telling us. Is this really what you want? Is that really what you want? Or is that what your parents told you that you wanted? That's what the fucking people's ideology behind it is. I was told I was a man.
Yeah, when I was 4,
When
my
I-
dad
when I-
was forcing Playboys down my throat, going,
the
"That
thing.
bitch is
That's
hot."
the thing.
Yeah.
These
No,
people are
that's
like,
not
when
what
I was
happened.
born.
That's
when I-
primal as fuck.
Yeah. You look at.
You tell me monkeys aren't.
But that's the thing. People
You tell me
like,
elk
when I was-
aren't there out there
When,
showing their male dominance for a woman.
That's just.
but that's the
primal
thing.
shit.
People, when that's their mentality is going, well, when I was born,
They want to crash this human race into the fucking
when
dirt
I
and
was
burn it up.
born, they put on my birth certificate that I was a male. But
Science. you
they
know.
and my mom and dad told me I was male. But honestly, I feel like a woman. But
Man, I
but
feel like a woman.
do you have dick and balls? But I feel like, well, you're a man. That's just gay. Good for you. But you're still a man because you got a dick and balls. You're not a fucking female.
So you can go get surgery and whack that thing off.
And then
Good for you. Good for you.
I'll call
Yeah.
you a woman.
Like, cause
If that's what you wanted to do with you,
I know
I'm,
people that have. Well, I don't.
I'm
know
a
them
full
personally.
proponent to your body is your own.
Yeah.
Do what you want with it, but don't tell me what I can do with mine.
Or tell me what I have to pay for.
Well, my body's
Agreed.
a temple, so fuck you guys.
I could give
Pyramids
a fuck.
are quite wide on the bottom.
I could give a fuck. You know, what you identify as or whatever. If you need to switch body parts, just don't make me pay
good for you.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, no, like because I've heard of people, like people like Dennis couldn't even tell what they were born as, and they had somewhat of a surgery, and he couldn't tell, and that's what they feel comfortable as, and they both were, I heard a lot of stories, and that's fine, sure, but just don't make the American taxpayer pay for it.
You're right.
You're an American.
Do it if you can afford it. Do what the fuck
Yeah,
you want
exactly.
with your own body. And
if
there shouldn't be.
that's what you want to do, fucking work your ass off. That's the American dream.
And I mean, as far as do what you want, as long as it doesn't harm others.
Exactly.
And why put people in cages for doing something?
And don't be hateful. Like
that doesn't harm others.
We talked about picking up garbage and just, just.
Guys, what I need to start talking about is I need to start heading home. I love the fact you invited me in, Travis.
Shane's got a hot date tonight.
I got a lot of things to do tomorrow.
I don't know, like help me fucking set up for this comedy show.
Yes, sir.
Comedy show tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Friday. We'll start setting up tomorrow. Friday.
Okay.
5 different comedians coming in. Should be fun.
Hey, who's some of the people that helped this out?
That help the show out?
Yeah, help get this happening.
Well, after we shut this podcast down, they were mentioned at the beginning of it. I'll bring them all back.
Oh, okay.
Because I still got to finish the intro.
Okay.
So it's a past tense but present tense thing.
Okay.
Because it is now Friday, technically now. So
because I've been that asshole before, where I went, I'll just wing them.
It's Thursday.
And say them all, and then suddenly I forget.
it is. Yeah.
Suddenly I forget my best friend that sponsored the show, and then you feel like a dickhead. So I'll just tomorrow when I put the podcast out, I'll put everybody on the front and the back. It'll be good.
In the back?
Anyway, you blade operating sons of bitches.
Well, thanks for sponsoring, Shane.
Thanks for having us on your show, Travis. Loved it.
It was fun.
It's always fun. Always a good time.
We ran it the whole fucking time.
Hey,
we didn't even get
and
into anything funny.
Yeah,
That's
we went through like half of the. Oh, we didn't even.
That's
talk
cool,
about
but
winter
sometimes you
weather.
guys got to be serious.
it's wintertime out there.
Can't all be dick and fart jokes all the time.
I know.
And
There's so many times that we get on here and it's just straight ball busting the whole time, and like
and that's what I thought I was going to be on here to do.
we'll have to try another one, Mitch. We got to do more.
But thank you for having me, Travis.
I didn't have
Thanks
your
for
mom had you.
sponsoring.
Mitch, thanks for coming out with us.
Never mind. We were just talking about coming out, right?
Gee whiz, guys.
Anyway, it was fun.
PC.
Yeah, PC. I'm not that guy because I'm from North Montarctica, and I try to be as I'm just a nice guy. I like everybody mostly, unless I hate you. But then I hate you equally.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a prick. Fuck.
Sorry.
And if you are, you're probably my best friend, like Shane.
Just
Anyway, Montarctica podcast. Sorry we weren't so funny tonight, but it was sometimes, honestly, like I was telling you guys when we were on break, that our rant podcasts are some of the better ones.
And
as far as listenership goes. So
you guys can always comment on the Facebook post and be like,
for sure.
let us know your opinions on some
send
of the
out
shit
questions
we talked about.
too.
You know,
If you see us in public, go hey.
if you got a question to ask us, fucking type up a question, put it on Facebook.
We're all gonna get punched after this podcast, like randomly.
Try and find us.
Yeah. Good luck. I bob and weave pretty well, but
Don't hit me. I'm sensitive and fragile.
fragile maybe, sensitive maybe. No, I'm kidding. All right, Montarctica podcast, and Friday, huge ass comedy show. If I didn't re-plug it at the beginning, but bringing in all these guys, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do it's Crispin's comedy, fucking Christmas comedy. They're gonna do. They wrote everything to be towards Christmas. They're gonna why not? Let's go hang out, have some beers, and hang out with our friends before we gotta go fucking tolerate all of our families. So not that we hate our families. Sorry, family. But yeah.
We'll get tables at the comedy show with Framley.
Framley. All right, perfect. All right. Montarctica.com if you want tickets. Montarctica.com if you want to listen to this podcast ever again. Thanks. Later, boys.